Chapter 435. Hiss. In the Hunyuan Heavenly Sect, Jinwu Religion and Green Lotus Sword Sect camps, the Hunyuan Heavenly Sect, Patriarch Qi Wu, Patriarch Nanshan, and the others couldn't help but suck in a breath of cold air. Oh my god, Grand Elder Tsing Hui wants to destroy the Create Evolve Mystical Sect's earth veins and trigger a large-scale earthquake that will completely bury the Create Evolve Mystical Sect's countless years of foundation. Ruthless. 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 Too ruthless. When normal sects fight each other, they'll only kill the upper echelons of the sect at most. The regular disciples and the sect's foundation will more or less remain and occupy it for themselves. However, with what the great elder of the Qingsu ruins has done, the entire wondrous mountain range within a radius of over 1,000 kilometers will be completely destroyed when the earthquake strikes. It'll never see the light of day again. No wonder the great elder of the Qingsu ruins said that if we don't take a good look at the Creation Mystical Sect today, the Creation Mystical Sect will become history. According to what I know, a full-powered attack from a transformative realm expert can at most create an area of destruction around 20 kilometers wide. Even a Golden Core expert's full-powered attack can probably only destroy an area of 30 kilometers wide. Only those powerful existences who are proficient in destruction can turn an area of over 100 kilometers into a scorched hell. But now, the great elder of the Qing ruins is directly heading towards the Profundity mountain range in an attempt to cause the earth veins to tremble and reduce the Profundity mountain range to dust in a single breath. What he's doing is simply unbelievable. The true energy and illustrious divine stage grand elders of the Hunyuan Heavenly Sect, Jinwu Religion, and Green Lotus Sword Sect were all shocked. They were completely convinced by Tsing Hui's actions. The entire Create Evolve Mystical Mountain Range will be destroyed in the upcoming earthquake. So what if the Create Evolve Mystical Sect has set up a massive array of formations in the mountain range? This is taking the firewood from under the cauldron and dealing a fatal blow. Grand Elder Tsing Hui has his reasons for not placing the Create Evolve Mystical Sect in his eyes. Without the many formations, the Create Evolve Mystical Sect may not be a match for Grand Elder Tsing Hui. If their 10,000-year foundation is destroyed just like that, the Create Evolve Mystical Sect will definitely not let this matter rest. I estimate that they will soon come and fight to the death. Everyone, let's get ready. They're already here. Tsing Hui, who had struck the ground with the ground-shaking rod, lifted his head and spoke slowly. As soon as he finished speaking, he sensed the Create Evolve Mystical Sect, and Sect's aura, and Jinwu Religion experts, and Green Lotus Sword Sect's group, was 3 times the Evolve Sect's Create Evolve Mystical Sect. And Green Lotus Sword Sects. They Evolve Mystical Sect? Since that's the case, allow me to go in and start a massacre. Qingsu looked at the many experts of the Creation Mystical Sect, who had rushed out from the Creation Mystical Sect. He could not be bothered to continue attacking the ground and destroy the foundations of the Creation Mystical Sect. He immediately shot into the air, and like a streak of light, he directly charged towards the 140 peak experts of the Creation Mystical Sect. Chou Tsing Hui. Seeing that Chou Tsing Hui had ignored their top experts and charged at the front, Taoist Northern Dipper, who had the highest cultivation and seniority, seemed to have been insulted. How dare you destroy my Create Evolve Mystical Sect's foundation? I want you dead. Everyone, focus fire and attack according to the Earth Fiend Heavenly Spirit formation. Kill him in one fell swoop. Yes. Many Vision Divine Realm, True Energy Realm, and even Transcendent Realm cultivators responded at the same time after receiving the order. Then they quickly revealed their battle bodies. In an instant, waves of powerful chi that made even blue Netherworld Realm cultivators tremble shot into the sky. More than 140 chi streams followed a special formation and connected into one. They covered the sky and earth and rolled over. Even the Origin Essence Saint Sovereigns who were famous on the Eastern Baron ranking couldn't help but change their expressions. Not good. Quick. Let's attack quickly. We must not let Grand Elder Tsing Hui be surrounded by so many manifest divine stage experts of the Create Evolve Mystical Sect. Be careful, Great Elder Qingsu. The attacks of Vision Saint Realm and True Origin Realm experts are completely the same. At most, they can't be compared in terms of endurance. The concentrated attack of 140 Vision Saint Realm experts is basically no different from the full-powered attack of 140 True Origin Realm experts. Even Golden Core Realm experts won't be able to block such power. The Jinwu religion, Hunyuan Heaven sect, and Green Lotus Sword sect's people shouted at the same time, and revealed the power of their battle physiques as they swiftly charged towards the Create Evolve Mystical Sects group. At the very front, Xing Hui, who was targeted by the Create Evolve Mystical Sects group, revealed a cold smile. In the next instant, his figure split into three and surrounded the Create Evolve Mystical Sects group from three different directions. This scene stunned Taoist Tianding, Taoist Golden Cicada, and Taoist Beidou. However, Taoist Beidou's reaction could not be described as slow. Seeing that Xing Hui was about to enter their attack range, he immediately made a decision. Dismantle the formation, 36 stars Heavenly Spirit formation. The three of us will each hold a formation and take care of one person each. Okay. Taoist Tianding and Taoist Golden Cicada responded at the same time. The originally huge fire-gathering formation split into three and each formation contained 36 prominent Saint Stage experts. After gathering their innate abilities to the limit, they simultaneously unleashed the three formations. Immediately, three energy torrents containing various types of destructive power tore through the sky with an unstoppable might and headed straight for the three Xing Hui's body. Is this all you've got? Even the power you used to ambush me and my Hunyuan Heaven sect can't compare to this. How can you do anything to me? Xing Hui's true body let out a long roar. While the Shangqing and Taiqing clones were easily destroyed, his true body had already revealed the Golden Crow divine body. A vast and terrifying pressure rolled out from his body, causing the Create Evolve Mystical Sect's prominent Saint Stage experts, who were experiencing the Golden Crow divine body's power for the first time, to be shocked. Eternal resplendence. The Golden Crow divine body appeared and grabbed a ball of light that contained endless light. It directly collided with the energy torrents formed by the attacks of the 36 prominent Saint Stage experts led by Taoist Tianding. For a time, the Yuan Qi within a radius of 100 kilometers violently shook. The air was rapidly compressed at a speed visible to the naked eye before wantonly spreading in all directions, causing a circular ring of qi to appear in the air. Rumble. Amidst the violent explosion and resplendent flames, the Golden Crow divine body's majestic godlike figure brazenly charged out with suffocating flames. Torrential waves of fire swept out as it charged towards Taoist Tianding and the other 36 prominent Saint Stage experts closest to him. This is his true body. He's here. Everyone be careful. Kill. Primordial Chaos Saint and the others have also arrived. Split a portion of our forces to take care of them. All sorts of exclamations and roars sounded from the Create Evolve Mystical Sect's side. In the next instant, Xing Hui, who was charging at the very front, finally began to clash with the 36 prominent Saint Stage experts led by Taoist Tianding. As the Golden Crow divine body's hand began to condense a ball of energy that was like a blazing sun that was about to explode, Taoist Tianding's pupils rapidly contracted. Eternal resplendence. It's the eternal resplendence. Pay attention to your defenses. Rumble. Just as he finished speaking, the deathly impact formed by the eternal resplendence had already exploded in the center of the 36 prominent Saint Stage and True Element Stage experts led by Taoist Tianding. Even if these prominent Saint Stage and True Element Stage experts sensed danger and consciously took out their defensive artifacts to block and work together in a futile attempt to share the destructive power of the eternal resplendence, when the eternal resplendence truly exploded in their midst, that destructive energy instantly turned three prominent Saint Stage experts into ashes. Dozens of experts were sent flying by the shockwave formed by the explosion, and left the range of the 36 Stars Dipper array. The entire array had been completely pierced through by Xing Hui's attack. Die for me. In his fury, Taoist Tianding's divine art aura surged. He roared and suddenly attacked Xing Hui's imposing figure that had melted into the sea of flames. But before their attacks collided, the Golden Crow divine body had already extended a sharp claw from the dazzling flames and ruthlessly struck Taoist Tianding's battle body. The blazing great sun true fire sputtered wildly, and incinerated a small portion of Taoist Tianding's battle body on the spot. Then, the Golden Crow divine body turned and directly pounced on a prominent saint stage expert of the Creation Transformation Mysterious Sect. Just as the prominent saint stage expert was about to activate the power of his battle body to meet the Golden Crow divine body, the Golden Crow divine body had already clawed down and shattered his battle body, including himself. Today is the day of your Creation Transformation Mysterious Sect's destruction. Xing Hui waved his hand and executed the 10 suns burning sky immortal art. 7 blazing suns shone at the same time, and formed a blazing great sun domain. What was particularly strange was that there was actually a mysterious and profound statue in this blazing solar domain. This statue was like a god that stood high above the 9 heavens. It stared coldly at everyone present in the Creation Transformation Mysterious Sect, causing them to tremble in fear. Damn it! It's this move again. The previous sect master of the Creation Transformation Mysterious Sect, Dao Xianfeng, cursed angrily. This is a method similar to a false domain to destroy those great suns. Once those great suns are summoned, they will transform into a strange semi-energy state. It is very difficult to destroy them. At best, its power can only be suppressed. Everyone, fight to the death. Our Creation Transformation Mysterious Sect has reached the moment of life and death. For the continuation of our Creation Transformation Mysterious Sect, fight to the death. The illustrious divine stage, true element stage, and even transformative stage experts of the Create Evolve Profound Sect roared as they unleashed their strongest techniques in an attempt to block the Golden Crow divine body that was engulfed in blazing flames. Unfortunately, however, they soon discovered that everything they had done was completely useless. An attack from a vision divine expert using a battle physique could indeed cause quite a bit of damage to the Golden Crow physique. Relying on the recovery ability of the 10th level and the pseudo-great sun domain of the 10 burning heavens immortal technique, the Golden Crow physique could quickly recover from the attacks of several battle physiques. Even when he forcefully took on the concentrated fire of a 36 stars heavenly constellation formation led by the Great Northern Dipper, Qing Su's Golden Crow physique had only dimmed by half. He was still far from completely vanishing. As the battle continued, the Golden Crow divine body that had dimmed by half did not become weaker. Instead, it gradually recovered. At this moment, it actually had 80% of the Golden Crow divine body's peak state. This scene immediately made all the prominent divine experts who had not understood Qing Su's strength when they fought him for the first time fall into despair. Chapter 436. We have to destroy his battle physique. Also, don't give him any time to catch his breath after the destruction. Spiritual Master Beidou stared at Xing Hui's Golden Crow divine body that was gradually recovering with bloodshot eyes. In just a short moment, more than 10 of the Creation Transformation Mystical Sects 109 prominent divine stage, 33 true energy stage, and transformative stage experts had died, including 3 true energy stage experts. If he did not think of a way, Xing Hui would kill all the experts of the Create Evolve Mystical Sects sooner or later. How can there be such a monster in this world? How can such a monster appear in the eastern wilderness? Spiritual Master Beidou gritted his teeth. At this moment, Spiritual Master Tianding's voice suddenly rang out. Spiritual Master Beidou, your 36 stars Big Dipper formation almost destroyed his Golden Crow divine body just now. If we do it again, we'll definitely be able to completely defeat this terrifying divine-grade battle body. The most important thing to do in order to attack Zhuo Qingxiu is to be afraid that he will dodge. I happen to have a way to trap him for one breath. One breath. That's enough. As long as we can trap him for one breath, I'll definitely be able to activate the 36 stars Big Dipper formation and destroy him completely. Spiritual Master Beidou was overjoyed. Good. You can start preparing now. You only have one chance. Spiritual Master Tianding's voice was low, and there was a hint of determination in his tone. Spiritual Master Beidou sensed the abnormality in his tone, and seemed to have thought of something. His expression changed immediately. You want to use the Swanee sacred body to turn into an illusory formation to trap him? No. If that's the case, we'll focus our fire on you and kill you together. This is the only way. Otherwise, what awaits our Create Evolve Mysterious sect will be complete annihilation. One person will die, or the entire Create Evolve Mysterious sect will be destroyed. I believe you will make the right choice. Tianding. Alright Beidou, get ready. Don't miss this opportunity. Spiritual Master Beidou looked deeply at Spiritual Master Tianding and nodded heavily. Everyone in the Create Evolve Mystical sect will remember your contribution. Then he shouted, everyone get ready. Instantly, the 36 illustrious divine stage experts shouted at the same time. Divine light flowed on their battle physiques, and a terrifying attack that could destroy everything within a few thousand meters was quickly brewing. Chou Tsinghui, die. At this moment, Spiritual Master Tianding, who had made his decision, roared, his sacred body to charge toward Tsinghui fearlessly. Die. Tsinghui shouted coldly. Dazzling Great Sun True Fire burst out from his golden crow divine body, instantly igniting Spiritual Master Tianding's sacred body. With the power and dominance of the Great Sun True Fire, if Spiritual Master Tianding didn't try his best to extinguish the flames, his Swanni sacred body would be burned to ashes in 2 or 3 breaths. However, this time, the Taoist Tianding was determined to create an opportunity to take Qing Su down with him. Not only did the ignited Swan and I Saint physique not back away, but it even produced a painful cry. It suddenly coiled around the Golden Crow physique, and the scorching flames directly turned into a mist, trapping the Golden Crow physique. It made the Golden Crow physique feel like yin and yang had been reversed, and the 5 elements had become indistinguishable. It was unable to break free. For a moment, only the true flames of the Grand Sun from the Golden Crow physique incinerated the mist in an attempt to completely incinerate it, so that it could see the sun again. Oh no! Primordial Chaos Sacred Master suddenly understood Spiritual Master Tianding's plan. His expression changed drastically, and he quickly shouted, Great Elder Tsinghui, be careful of Spiritual Master Beta's array fire. Unfortunately, his warning came too late. Spiritual Master Beidou and Spiritual Master Tianding had already discussed and cooperated well. How could they give Tsinghui a chance to break free? Spiritual Master Tianding's sacrifice is not for nothing. Spiritual Master Beidou roared with grief. Chou Tsinghui, die. Die. The 36 Vision Stage and True Element Stage experts within the 36-star astral formation roared furiously at the same time, and their voices contained boundless grief and rage. Instantly, the attacks of the 36 innate skills transformed into a vast and blazing torrent of destruction that charged directly towards the Golden Crow divine body, that was confused by the illusory smoke transformed from the Swanni. Even though the Golden Crow divine body sensed the danger at the first moment and let out a loud and clear cry, it burst out with all its true energy under Tsinghui's true energy void technique, and formed a resplendent eternity to offset the attack of the torrent of destruction. It was still unable to completely offset the torrent of destruction created by the 36 illustrious divine stage and true energy realm experts. In the end, a dozen streams of light tore apart the blazing flames formed by the resplendent eternity explosion, and pierced through the explosion. They smashed into the Golden Crow divine body with an unstoppable force. In an instant, the Golden Crow divine body was almost shattered into pieces and almost exploded in the air. At the same time, the Golden Crow divine body that was almost annihilated by the Grand Sun primordial fire was also completely destroyed. Die. Feeling the extremely weak Golden Crow divine body, Tsinghui roared angrily. He no longer dared to use the power of the Golden Crow divine body to kill the enemy. Instead, he used a sword light to kill the pale-faced Spiritual Master Tianding, whose divine body had collapsed. Ha ha ha. Your Golden Crow divine body has been destroyed by us. It's worth it. Chou Tsinghui. I'll wait for you in hell. Spiritual Master Tianding let out a final bitter laugh and died on the spot. Spiritual Master Tianding. Martial Uncle Tianding. We must avenge Martial Uncle Tianding. The people of the Create Evolve Mysterious sect roared angrily at the same time. The anger brought by the death of Spiritual Master Tianding, coupled with the hope of victory brought by the weakening of Tsinghui's Golden Crow divine body, burned their fighting spirit to the limit. Oh no! We're in trouble. Damn it, Great Elder Tsing Hui's Golden Crow divine body was almost destroyed. Even if it's not completely destroyed, it's on the verge of being destroyed. He can't fight anymore. This time, we can only retreat temporarily. Like I said, we shouldn't be so reckless. We should take it step by step and push forward step by step. Only then can we destroy, create, evolve mysterious sect in one fell swoop. Attacking the root of the problem is too dangerous. Once something goes wrong, we will lose everything. Primordial Chaos Sacred Master, Ancestor Qi Wu, Ancestor Nanshan and the others became anxious at the same time. The prominent saint stage experts of the three sects also felt uneasy when they saw Tsing Hui's divine body dim. Ha ha ha. But just as the morale of the Primordial Chaos Heavenly Sect, Green Lotus Sword Sect, and Jin Wu Religion's side plummeted, and the morale of the Create Evolve Mysterious Sect's side soared, Tsing Hui suddenly burst out laughing. This isn't the first time you've gone against me. Don't you understand that the Golden Crow divine body is only one of my divine bodies? So what if you risked your life to destroy my Golden Crow divine body? Next, let's see if you can still risk your lives to break my second Illumination Dragon divine body. Qing Su roared out, and the Torch Dragon God's body appeared soon afterwards. Seeing the Aurora Dragon divine physique, that was only slightly inferior to the Golden Crow divine physique, the Creation Mystical Sects experts, who were originally full of fighting spirit, and thought that they could see the dawn of victory, were stunned on the spot, and unstoppable despair emerged in their eyes. The Golden Crow divine body had already sacrificed more than a dozen prominent saint stage and true origin stage experts, including Taoist Tianding. Now, Tsing Hui had summoned his Torch Dragon divine body again. What made them even more desperate was that the many prominent saint stage experts present had limited true qi. The previous 3 rounds of attacks had already exhausted most of their true qi. Unless they could completely destroy Tsing Hui's Torch Dragon divine body in the next round of attacks, what awaited them was their true qi being exhausted, and they would no longer be able to manifest their battle physique. Once it reached that point, the Create Evolve Mysterious Sect would have no hope of winning. Our Create Evolve Mysterious Sect has experienced countless storms in the past tens of thousands of years. How can we be defeated by a junior? Dao Bian, you're in charge of the formation. Prepare to fire. Taoist Master 7-Star roared, and the soaring snake divine body appeared behind him. He then pounced on Tsing Hui, intending to trap Tsing Hui again with the snake entanglement. At the same time, the prominent Saint Stage and True Origin Stage experts in the 36 Stars Big Dipper formation, under the command of Dao Bian, a Transcendent Stage expert, once again summoned their innate skills. They were waiting for Taoist Master 7-Star to entangle Tsing Hui with all his strength, so that they could kill his Torch Dragon divine body in one fell swoop. Do you think you can still use the same method to deal with me? Tsing Hui's figure flew as if he wanted to avoid Taoist Master 7-Star's attack, but the soaring snake divine body behind Taoist Master 7-Star flapped its wings. For a moment, the space around Tsing Hui seemed to have become like a swamp, stagnating. Taking advantage of this opportunity, Taoist Master 7-Star's soaring snake battle body immediately entangled Tsing Hui and tied up all his battle bodies in an instant. You're courting death. Tsing Hui roared. The sharp claws of the Torch Dragon divine body tore down, and tore a huge wound on the soaring snake divine body in an instant. However, Taoist Master 7-Star was not afraid. Instead, he smiled bitterly and said, although you have a second divine body, in terms of lethality and destruction, the Torch Dragon divine body is far inferior to the Golden Crow divine body. Therefore, even if I entangle you with the soaring snake divine body, you can't do anything to me in a short time. At best, my end will be the same as yours. My divine body will be destroyed, and there won't even be any danger to my life. Then he roared, Dao Bian, what are you waiting for? Fire! Fire! After receiving Taoist Master 7-Star's order, Dao Bian roared. 34 prominent divine stage and true energy realm experts, including him, the transformative stage expert, attacked at the same time. In an instant, a vast and terrifying torrent was formed again, and was about to blast Tsing Hui's Torch Dragon divine body into ashes. You know that my Torch Dragon Divine Body is not as destructive as the Golden Crow Divine Body in terms of lethality and destruction. Then, you should also know that my Torch Dragon Divine Body has mysterious and strange means, which are far superior to the Golden Crow Divine Body. Therefore, do you really think that you can deal with me like you dealt with the Golden Crow Divine Body just because I let you entangle my body? Seeing that Dao Bian and the other prominent Divine Realm and True Energy Realm experts were about to launch their attacks, the Torch Dragon Godly Body suddenly released a deep universe that seemed to contain endless mysteries, as if it was going to swallow their consciousness and thoughts completely. Kill. At the same time, Dao Bian's order was finally given. A vast and mighty torrent of destruction was formed and came crashing down. Light sense deprivation. Reversal of yin and yang. Chapter 437. The deprivation of light sense would not only deprive a cultivator of their vision, but would also severely interfere with their other senses. The reason why a cultivator would have the concept of up, down, left, right, north, south, east, and west was mainly because of the existence of a reference object, and the reference object came from their vision. When the sense of light was deprived, the cultivator would lose the reference object, and would also lose the ability to distinguish directions, causing their understanding of space to plummet. In addition, Xing Hui had used the reversal of yin and yang to confuse their sense of aura. As a result, when Dao Bian really made the 34 prominent sage experts behind him use their innate skills to attack, he awkwardly realized that he had lost his target. However, everyone had already used their innate skills and had no choice but to release the arrow. Helpless, Dao Bian could only use the impression he had before his sense of light was deprived to lead everyone to attack Xing Hui's previous position. The direct result of such an attack was missed. Nothing happened. This result was probably not only embarrassing for Dao Bian, who was in charge of the array formation attack, but also for the bystanders. It had to be known that this was the last attack left in the prominent sage experts' bodies. After this attack, the qi in their bodies was no longer enough to support them to use any innate skills. Some of the weaker cultivators were even unable to maintain the manifestation of their battle physique. This was equivalent to Dao Bian's attack that the entire Creation Mysterious sect had placed high hopes on completely missing, completely extinguishing the Creation Mysterious sect's hope of victory. No. Seeing the terrifying streams of light whizzing past him, Daoist Master Northern Dipper, who was desperately entangled with Xing Hui, let out an unbearable roar. However, Xing Hui did not intend to let him escape alive so easily. As he tore through the void and grabbed Daoist Master Northern Dipper's soaring serpent's body, his huge saint physique was torn into two by Xing Hui's torch dragon physique, dissipating an endless amount of heaven and earth yuan qi. Ah! Daoist Master Northern Dipper let out a shrill scream. He suddenly withdrew the remaining power of the soaring serpent's sacred physique into his body, and was about to retreat. Can you leave? Backlight. Boom. Daoist Master Northern Dipper, who was about to escape into the Creation Mystical Sect's camp with great difficulty, felt an indescribable sense of impending doom in his heart. However, before he could truly see where the attack came from, an annihilating force had already completely torn him apart, causing him to explode into a cloud of blood mist. Daoist Master Northern Dipper was dead. So far, 2 of the Create Evolve Mysterious sect's top 10 cultivators had died. The only one left was the Golden Cicada Spiritual Master, who was ranked last. Furthermore, Daoist Master Northern Dipper, Daoist Master Northern Dipper, Daoist Master Northern Dipper, and even Transcendent Realm experts led by Primordial of Origin. Kill. After killing Daoist Master Northern Dipper, Xing Hui controlled the Torch Dragon physique and directly charged into the Creation Mysterious sect's crowd. Although the Torch Dragon physique was inferior to the Golden Crow physique in terms of destructive power and lethality, as one of the most powerful divine-grade battle physiques, the Torch Dragon physique had strange means that the Golden Crow physique could not compare to. With the use of light sensory deprivation, more than 30 visionary Dipper and True Energy Realm experts, led by Dao Bian, became headless chickens. They could not tell the direction at all. Although they had previously learned from Daoist Master Yun Kuei that light sensory deprivation was related to one's spiritual strength, How many of them could break free from Tsinghui's spiritual strength that had reached level 90? The moment they lost their sense of direction and vision, Tsinghui directly drove the torch dragon physique into the center of the creation mysterious sect's experts. With a rip of his hand, a visionary dipper expert died on the spot. With a swing of his dragon tail, another visionary dipper expert was smashed into a bloody mist. In the eyes of ordinary people, visionary dipper experts were already at the peak of the visionary dipper stage, but at this moment, they were like weak babies that were easily killed by him. This ferocious scene made everyone from the creation mysterious sect, Hunyuan heavenly sect, Jinwu religion, and Green Lotus Sword sect feel an unstoppable chill in their hearts. This is too terrifying. Oh my God! Is this the true strength of Grand Elder Tsinghui? Fortunately, our Green Lotus Sword sect did not choose to fight Grand Elder Tsinghui to the end, and immediately gave in when we sensed that something was wrong. Otherwise, the consequences would be unimaginable. This is simply the rhythm of one person destroying the entire creation mysterious sect. The people from the Jinwu religion, Green Lotus Sword sect, and Hunyuan heavenly sect trembled with fear, and even their movements seemed to have slowed down a little. But because the people from the creation mysterious sect were also so frightened that they were exuding cold air, their distraction on the battlefield did not bring about any calamity for themselves. Both sides faintly showed signs of stopping temporarily. Stop him! Stop him! Quickly stop him! Dao Xianfeng roared as he organized the Visionary Dipper stage and True Element stage experts in a futile attempt to stop Tsinghui's massacre. But even more cultivators felt deep despair at the powerful strength that Tsinghui had displayed. We can't stop him! We can't stop him! In just a short while, our creation mysterious sect has already lost 33 Visionary Dipper stage experts and 7 True Element stage experts. If this continues, all of us will be killed by him. It's over, it's over. The heavens want to destroy our creation mysterious sect. Our creation mysterious sect has been destroyed countless times. Are we going to face such an outcome today? As more and more create evolve mysterious sect cultivators grew fearful, their fighting spirit grew weaker and weaker. Coupled with the fact that none of them had the ability to organize a decent attack, the entire Create Evolve mysterious sect was on the verge of collapse. At this moment, Tsinghui, who had been chasing for a while, suddenly stopped. The Aurora Dragon Divine Body gradually dissipated and returned to his body. This scene stunned the creation mysterious sect cultivators who were on the verge of collapse. He can't go on? His true chi is no longer enough for him to continue fighting. For a moment, such a hopeful thought emerged in everyone's minds. But very quickly, hope and despair completed a subversive transformation. Creation mysterious sect, it's time for you to repent for your actions. After Tsinghui finished speaking, the Golden Crow Divine Body suddenly appeared behind him. Endless heat and light accompanied the Golden Crow spread its wings, and the intense light almost made everyone unable to open their eyes. Golden Crow Divine Body. As Tsinghui used the power of the Aurora Dragon Divine Body to fight, and the Golden Crow Divine Body was nourished in his body, the Golden Crow Divine Body had completely recovered. Although the Aurora Dragon Divine Body's attacking methods were strange and impossible to guard against, it was ultimately incomparable to the Golden Crow Divine Body in terms of lethality. The Golden Crow Divine Body was truly blazing, violent, overbearing, and full of crushing power. How could this be? Golden Crow Divine Body, Golden Crow Divine Body. This is the Golden Crow Divine Body. His Golden Crow Divine Body has actually recovered. Rank 10 Recovery Characteristic. This is the recovery power of the Rank 10 Recovery Characteristic. Unless we can completely kill him, he's simply an unkillable monster. After Tsinghui withdrew the Aurora Dragon Divine Body, the creation mysterious sect cultivators who had a glimmer of hope completely lost all hope when they saw the Golden Crow Divine Body that had recovered to its original state. Run. Run. Otherwise, I'll definitely die here today. It wasn't easy for me to cultivate to the prominent divine stage, and there are still many things that I haven't enjoyed yet. How can I die like this? I'm the hope of our entire family. Our family's honor and disgrace are all entrusted to me. If I die, our entire family will definitely fall. Therefore, even if it's not for myself, I can't die for the sake of our family's inheritance. We can't beat him. This is simply an undefeatable opponent. Unless a Golden Core realm expert explodes with the power of his Golden Core and kills the target in one blow, no one can kill a monster whose recovery characteristic has reached the rank 10. This monster is simply an undying and indestructible machine. Even if he continues to exhaust us, he can still exhaust all of us to death. Despair spread among the crowd, and the direct effect was that the Creation Mysterious Sect cultivators had completely lost the courage to continue fighting. One by one, they frantically fled in all directions. In an instant, at least 30 prominent divine stage, and even true element realm experts left the battle circle and fled for their lives. You dare to abandon our Creation Mysterious Sect? When our Create Evolve Profound Sect was at its peak, all of you tried to curry favor with us and join us. Now that our Create Evolve Profound Sect is facing a life and death crisis, all of you actually ran away. A bunch of ungrateful people. Dao Xianfeng looked at the cultivators who fled in all directions and was unable to restrain his anger. You'd better think about yourself. Before Dao Xianfeng could continue to blame the cultivators who fled in all directions, Xing Hui's figure had already appeared in front of Dao Xianfeng. The Golden Crow divine body carried the mighty blazing Great Sun primordial fire and crashed down. In an instant, Dao Xianfeng's battle body was in his hands and then he squeezed hard. Rumble. Dao Xianfeng's spiritual grade battle body was directly crushed by the Golden Crow divine body in a violent explosion and exploded into a torrent of primordial qi. The battle body shattered and Dao Xianfeng spat out a mouthful of blood. His face was filled with despair. No. Without the protection of the battle body, the Golden Crow divine body did not even need to deliberately attack him. The huge body mixed with blazing flames swam past him. The white gold flames sputtered from the Golden Crow divine body, had already ignited and burned him to ashes. He died on the spot. Is today really going to be the day of our Creation Mysterious Sect's annihilation? Fan Tian looked at his old friends and pillars who had fallen one by one. His whole body trembled slightly. We can't win. Let's retreat. We can only retreat temporarily. Retreat back to the Creation Mysterious Sect. It will take at least half a day for him to trigger this earthquake. In this half a day, we will think of ways to ask for help from the Heavenly Tao, and let an Almighty from the Heavenly Tao send down a main battle avatar. Only then can our Creation Mysterious Sect survive today's disaster. It's useless. The Heavenly Tao is currently plotting a big plan, and will definitely not care about our life and death. We will use Tao carrying items to ask them to help. Over the years, each of us has secretly hidden a lot of Tao carriers. If we contribute these Tao carriers, there will be more than 100 of them. Tao carriers with more than 100 Tao carriers will definitely be able to persuade those almighties to send down their main battle avatars to save our Creation Mystical Sect. Tao carrying items. Fan Tian was slightly stunned. In the next moment he gritted his teeth and said, "All right. We will use Tao carrying items to ask those almighties to help. With 100 Tao carrying items, we will ask for an endless realm main battle avatar. This is the only chance for our Creation Mysterious Sect to survive." Chapter 438. Retreat. Retreat. Go. Retreat to the sect. As soon as Fan Tian and the others made their decision, the Create Evolve Mystical Sect members roared in unison, and led the less than 80 illustrious sage, true energy, and transformative stage experts to retreat in the direction of the Create Evolve Mystical Sect. In less than an incense stick's worth of time, more than 60 illustrious sage and true energy stage experts from the Create Evolve Mystical Sect had either died or fled. Retreat? Don't you think it's too late to retreat now? Xing Hui looked at the many Create Evolve Mystical Sect experts retreating, and suddenly waved his hand. In an instant, dozens of powerful auras, the weakest of which was at the true energy stage, suddenly appeared in the forest below and quickly rose into the air, pouncing towards the Create Evolve Mystical Sect cultivators who were attempting to retreat. Demons. A large number of demons. The weakest was at the true energy stage, while the strongest was at the endless stage. Before Tsing Hui started the battle with the Create Evolve mystical sect, he had specially made a trip to the Silver Chamber of Commerce and spent a lot of Dao-carrying treasures to purchase many natural treasures. Although he did not turn all of these natural treasures into demons to aid in the battle, dozens of true energy stage, transformative stage, and one endless stage demon, together with the Jinwu religion, Hunyuan Heaven sect, and Green Lotus Sword sect were enough to pin down the less than 80 Create Evolve mystical sect cultivators, including many illustrious sage stage cultivators who had exhausted their chi. What are these things? Demons? Don't these demons only live in the remote mountains and marshes where humans rarely go? Why would they appear outside our Create Evolve mystical sect? Not good. These are the reinforcements Cho Tsing Hui invited. Everyone be careful. As the demons swarmed forward, the Create Evolve mystical sect members who were planning to retreat immediately cried out in panic. Demons might not be good at fighting, but they were quite good at entangling their enemies. Even if they did not have the help of the Jinwu religion, Green Lotus Sword sect, and Hunyuan Heaven sect, they could easily tie up most of the Create Evolve mystical sect's cultivators and make them unable to move. True energy stage, transformative stage, and even endless stage demons? Were all of them roped in by Grand Elder Tsing Hui? Grand Elder Tsing Hui actually controls such a powerful force in secret? Dozens of true energy stage spirits. Due to various reasons, these spirits cannot be compared to true energy stage cultivators, but the means they possess are extremely extraordinary. Grand Elder Tsing Hui has such a force in his hands. It's no wonder that he wasn't enthusiastic about the Jinwu religion, the Green Lotus Sword sect, and the Hunyuan Heavenly sect sending reinforcements. He alone and this army of spirits is enough to completely destroy the Create Evolve mysterious sect. From the looks of it, the Great Elder of the Qingsu ruins really wants to fulfill the bonds between our three sections. That's why he's giving us a share of the bounty of destroying the Creation mystical sect. Otherwise, if the Great Elder of the Qingsu ruins led this group of gremlins to conquer the Creation mystical sect alone, how could we possibly get a share of the boundless territory of the Creation mystical sect and the many heavenly resources produced within it? The Create Evolve mystical sect's members were panicking and uneasy due to the appearance of these spirits, while the Jinwu religion, Green Lotus Sword sect, and Hunyuan Heaven sect were pleasantly surprised and happy. As Tsing Hui brought out this powerful hidden force, they no longer doubted whether Tsing Hui could destroy the Create Evolve mystical sect alone. Since Tsing Hui still brought them along despite having the ability to destroy the Create Evolve mystical sect, the cultivators of the three sects naturally felt grateful. They also put in more effort to kill the Create Evolve mystical sect's cultivators, which hastened the Create Evolve mystical sect's defeat. Create Evolve mystical sect. Today, you should understand the price you have to pay for offending me, Cho Tsing Hui. Tsing Hui's low voice echoed across the battlefield, but his figure didn't slow down in the slightest. The great sun primordial fire burned fiercely on the golden crow's body. In a flash, he appeared beside a true energy boundary Grand Elder, and slashed down with his sharp claws. The great sun primordial fire shot out, and even though the true energy boundary Grand Elder had thousands of tricks up his sleeve, he was still easily torn to pieces along with his battle body. He died on the spot. With the 10 heaven burning suns and the 10th order recovery ability, the power in his body could be said to be endless. He didn't need to worry about any loss, let alone using the great sun primordial fire to his heart's content. Even if he continuously used the eternal resplendent fire, it would be difficult for him to show any signs of exhaustion. Cho Tsing Hui. Fan Tian roared angrily. At this moment, his face finally lost the arrogance of a Grand Elder of the number 1 sect in the Eastern Wilderness. Instead, he angrily said in a sullen tone, "Do you really want to exterminate the Create Evolve mystical sect? Create Evolve mystical sect is ultimately a subordinate force of the heavenly Tao. If you dare to destroy our orthodoxy in the Eastern Wilderness, the heavenly Tao behind us will never let you off." The heavenly Tao won't let me off? Before I completely offended the Create Evolve mystical sect, did the Create Evolve mystical sect show any mercy to me? After I offended the Create Evolve mystical sect, didn't the Black Heaven Taoist master of the heavenly Tao also want to kill me? If not for the life-saving item I obtained from the Chaos Treasure Pavilion, I'm afraid I would have died on the spot. Since the Create Evolve mystical sect and the Heavenly Tao won't let me off no matter what, do you think I can only watch as you ambush me again and again without retaliating? Since the enmity between us can't be resolved, then let's end it with one side completely annihilated. No. Cho Tsinghui, if you're willing to reconcile, the Create Evolve mystical sect will be more than happy to bury the hatchet with you. We're even willing to pay a certain price to compensate you. Fan Tian's tone was full of grievances. However, in order to continue the Create Evolve mystical sect's legacy in the Eastern Wilderness, he had no choice but to do so. Bury the hatchet? It's too late. Now that things have come to this, it is destined that only one of us will be able to survive in the Eastern Wasteland. From the looks of it now, it is obviously impossible for that side to be the Creation Profound sect. As for the compensation, after I destroy the Creation Profound sect, everything in the Creation Profound sect will naturally belong to me. Kill. As soon as Tsinghui finished speaking, the majestic true origin that he mobilized using the true Qi Void technique instantly condensed into the embryonic form of the resplendent eternity. Then, in a flash, it suddenly appeared in the middle of the 10 prominent divine stage and true energy realm experts. Then, it completely detonated the resplendent eternity that he had poured almost half of his true Qi into. Rumble. The blazing light illuminated the sky. Amidst the endless light and flames, Fan Tian's roar was filled with despair and anger. Cho Tsinghui. Today it's useless no matter what you say. Tsinghui's voice was transmitted in the blazing flames, and the golden crow divine body's figure appeared again. Looking at this terrifying demon-like existence, even the cultivators who were loyal to the Create Evolve mystical sect could not help but break down at this moment. The result of breaking down was that the resistance was even more disorganized, and the speed of their defeat increased exponentially. From where Tsinghui and the rest were, within 1,000 kilometers of the Create Evolve mystical mountain range, almost all of the Create Evolve mystical sect's experts were killed. In the end, only 8 experts led by Fan Tian were left. The 8 of them fled back to the Profundity Mountains. As soon as they set foot in a formation, and tried to use the power of the formation to fend off Qing Su slashed out with a sword of the glorious sun with an unstoppable force, reducing the entire formation to dust. Afterwards, a resplendent star of eternity exploded between the 8 of them, and in the end, there were only 3 survivors left. Whoosh! 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 At this moment, the cultivators of the Hunyuan Heaven sect, Jinwu religion, Green Lotus Sword sect and other forces arrived from all directions and stepped into the Create Evolve mystical sect. The Create Evolve mystical sect's Spirit and Qi Unity stage and Green Netherworld stage experts planned to use the Create Evolve mystical sect's Great Formation to resist, but the formation was destroyed by the simultaneous attacks of several Vision Divine and True Energy stage experts. Although these formations could greatly increase their strength and allow them to fight against Vision Divine experts for a short period of time, they could not stop several Vision Divine and True Energy stage experts from swarming them. Moreover, the Jinwu religion, Green Lotus Sword sect and Hunyuan Heaven sect had not sent just a few Vision Divine and True Energy stage experts, but all of them. The Create Evolve mystical sect is really finished. The primordial chaos saint could not help but sigh from the bottom of his heart when he saw the 2 true energy cultivators, and the only surviving transcendent cultivator, Fan Tian, collapsed to the ground while coughing up blood and losing the ability to fight back. From today onwards, the history of the Create Evolve mystical sect in the Eastern Wilderness will be rewritten. The patriarchs of the Jinwu religion and Green Lotus Sword sect ordered their disciples to continue attacking the Create Evolve mystical sect's Great Formation that did not have any Vision Divine experts guarding it, while they surrounded the last 3 True Energy stage experts of the Create Evolve mystical sect, as if to witness the final scene of the Create Evolve mystical sect's destruction. If Grand Elder Tsinghui is willing, with the strength he displayed today and the power of the monsters under him, it won't be difficult for him to unify the entire Eastern Wilderness, right? The Jinwu religion's sect master, Zhu Xian, said softly. His words shook the Vision Divine and True Energy stage patriarchs of the 3 sects, but they fell silent at the same time and did not reply. The Creation Profound sect was no match for the combined forces of the Wuji Sword sect and the other sects in terms of offense, but it possessed an advantage that even the combined forces of the 9 sects could not match in terms of defense. The Creation Profound sect that the 9 sects were unable to break through had been broken through by Qing Su alone. With such a force in his hands, if Tsinghui really wanted to unify the Eastern Wilderness, the other forces in the Eastern Wilderness would definitely not be able to compete with Tsinghui. At this moment, Fan Tian and the other 2 true energy stage experts seemed to know that it was futile no matter how they resisted or tried to escape. When Tsinghui and the others surrounded them, they actually gave up all resistance. Cho Tsinghui. Fan Tian looked at the remaining 2 true energy stage patriarchs with a miserable expression. If the entire Create Evolve mystical sect is willing to submit to you, I wonder if you can spare the Create Evolve mystical sect's life? I said before that from today onwards, the Create Evolve mystical sect will no longer exist in the Eastern Wilderness. I understand now. Fan Tian suddenly activated what little true energy he had left and shouted sorrowfully. Everyone from the Create Evolve mystical sect, run for your lives. Don't call yourself a disciple of the Create Evolve mystical sect anymore. The Create Evolve mystical sect is dead. Chapter 439. The Create Evolve mysterious sect was gone. As Fan Tian's mournful words left his mouth, the Divine Energy Uniting Realm and Green Netherworld Realm cultivators, who were still resisting with the help of the Create Evolve mysterious sect's array formation, were stunned. When they saw the powerful demons surrounding them and the experts of the 3 sects slaughtering their way through the crowd, they immediately dispersed. However, there were still many cultivators who were loyal to the Create Evolve mysterious sect who were unwilling to accept this fact. They either wept bitterly or went crazy as they tried their best to put up a final resistance. However, they were still like a lone boat in the middle of a tsunami. They were easily capsized by the demons and experts of the 3 sections. Without the many prominent Sage Realm, True Energy Realm, and even Transformative Realm experts to take charge of the situation, they were unable to do anything. Cho Tsinghui, please let the ordinary disciples of the Create Evolve mysterious sect live. They are innocent. Fan Tian looked at the Create Evolve mysterious sect's disciples who were still being slaughtered by the experts of the 3 sects and the demons. His eyes were filled with pain as he pleaded. Innocent. Tsinghui said indifferently. In my eyes, there is no innocent person in the entire Create Evolve mysterious sect. Perhaps, I should gather the people of the Life Moon Alliance and let them talk to the people of the Create Evolve mysterious sect to see if they are innocent. Fan Tian's face instantly darkened, and there seemed to be a trace of gray on his head. However, he seemed to have thought of something after a while. He raised his head and said, I know that the Life Moon Alliance is not as important in your heart as you have shown. You took the Life Moon Alliance for your own benefits. If you are willing to let the ordinary disciples of the Create Evolve mysterious sect go, I am willing to give you everything I have collected over the years, including the method to open the treasury of the Create Evolve mysterious sect. Tsinghui's heart stirred. The reason why our Create Evolve mystical sect keeps on devouring other forces is because we are being forced by the Heavenly Tao. If we don't do things for the Heavenly Tao and complete the tasks they give us, we will definitely be punished by the Heavenly Tao. If the Heavenly Tao only cuts off the support and supply to our Create Evolve mystical sect, it will be better. At most, we will have to rely on our own strength to become enemies with other sects in the Eastern Wilderness. However, if we arouse the displeasure of the Heavenly Tao's higher-ups, one of the Tao Lords will send his prime battle incarnation to punish us. What awaits our Create Evolve mystical sect will be annihilated. Therefore, in order to survive, we have no choice but to expand everywhere and destroy countless sects. Fan Tian complained with a sorrowful expression. For the sake of survival, we made one ruthless decision after another. If those disciples don't follow the orders of us higher-ups, they will also be punished. In the end, the fault lies with us and the Heavenly Tao behind us. Why must Grand Elder Tsinghui kill all of them? Tsinghui pondered for a while, then looked at Fan Tian and said, Your personal collection and the Create Evolve mystical sect's treasury are not enough. I still need the 3 of your primal chaos techniques. I promise you. I can give you my primal chaos techniques. I can give you everything in my personal storage space. I hope you can give me a way out. A true energy realm ancestor heard Xing Hui mention the primal chaos techniques. It was as if he had grasped an opportunity to survive, and he hurriedly shouted in surprise. It's impossible for me to let you go. I can't let any of the higher-ups of the Create Evolve Mystical Sect live, and gather the rest of the Create Evolve Mystical Sect to rise again. Elder Xing Hui, with your current cultivation, why are you afraid of mere true energy realm cultivators like us? Xing Hui couldn't be bothered to answer his question. He only said coldly, hand over the primal chaos techniques. No. Unless you agree to let me go, otherwise, I will not hand over the primal chaos incantation. I have already secretly activated the incantation, and it will only take a single thought for me to sever my own heart. Even if you want to capture me alive and torture me to force the primal chaos incantation out of my body, I will not give you the slightest chance. Before the true energy realm cultivator could finish his words, a cold light shot out from Xing Hui's eyes. In the next moment, the flowing fire sword shot out from his body and directly pierced through the true energy realm ancestor's head. Blood spurted out as the ancestor was killed on the spot. You'd better choose to kill yourself quickly. Don't make me do it again. Xing Hui's gaze turned to the other true energy realm ancestor of the Create Evolve Mystical Sect. The true energy realm ancestor originally had similar thoughts in his mind, but after seeing Xing Hui kill the ancestor beside him without hesitation, he completely suppressed this trace of luck and said with a gloomy expression, "Don't worry, Grand Elder Xing Hui, I won't do such a thing. I also understand that you won't let us, the living higher-ups of the Create Evolve Mystical Sect, leave." After he finished speaking, he waved his hand and many things appeared in his personal space. These are the things in my personal space. In addition, there's also my primal chaos techniques. I hope Grand Elder Xing Hui will keep his promise and not kill all the ordinary disciples of the Create Evolve Mystical Sect. Fan Tian. Xing Hui's gaze turned to Fan Tian. Fan Tian also handed over the items in his personal space and the primal chaos techniques at the same time. I hope Grand Elder Xing Hui will keep his promise. After receiving the primal chaos techniques, Xing Hui waved his hand, and the demons immediately stopped. When Primordial Chaos Sacred Sovereign and the others saw that Xing Hui had reached an agreement with the Create Evolve Mystical Sect, they hurriedly ordered the prominent divine stage experts to return to the Create Evolve Mystical Sect to avoid causing any misunderstandings or dissatisfaction with Xing Hui. I'll give you 6 hours to leave the Create Evolve Mystical Sect immediately. After 6 hours, those who are unwilling to leave the Create Evolve Mystical Sect will be killed without mercy. Xing Hui circulated his true qi and his voice, under the amplification of his true qi, formed a visible sound wave that swept in all directions and resounded in the minds of every Create Evolve Mystical Sect disciple. At that moment, the disciples of the Creation Mystical Sect who were planning to leave felt like they had been relieved of a heavy burden. They quickly fled from the Profundity Mountains. Even those who were unwilling to leave were pulled away by their friends and family. As for the stubborn loyalists, if they dared to resist, Qing Su's subordinates and the experts of the 3 sects would not show any mercy. All right, now I'll send you on your way. There's no need for Grand Elder Xing Hui to worry. Fan Tian said as he glanced at Xing Hui. His gaze was filled with unwillingness, annoyance, regret, hatred, and many other emotions that could not be expressed. If they had known that Xing Hui could grow to such an extent and destroy the Create Evolve Mystical Sect that they had built with their own hands, they would not have allowed him to grow no matter what. This was the source of their regret. As for their regret, it was because they should not have offended such a talented monstrous figure. All sorts of thoughts flashed through his mind one by one. In the end, they condensed into a sigh. Now, no matter what they wanted to do, it was already too late. Things were already set in stone. The Create Evolve Mystical Sect was just like what Xing Hui had said. It would completely become the history of the Eastern Wilderness. In an instant, Fan Tian was completely disheartened. He immediately circulated the true qi in his body and killed himself. The true energy stage expert beside him felt Fan Tian's life aura fading away and felt pain and unwillingness. However, he was a strong person, and it was better to kill himself than to die without a corpse. He immediately closed his eyes and his life aura rapidly declined. Dead. The last two true energy stage experts of the Create Evolve mystical sect are dead. Not far away, Primordial Chaos Sacred Master, Patriarch Qi Wu, Patriarch Nanshan, and the others who were watching this scene sighed. All the prominent sage and true energy stage experts were dead. Although there were still many disciples of the Create Evolve mystical sect who managed to escape with their lives, the result was the same as being annihilated. The Create Evolve mystical sect, a sect that had swept through the entire Eastern Wilderness and caused the 9 great sacred sects of the Eastern Wilderness to be in danger, and had no choice but to unite to fight against it, had become history under the power of Tsinghui alone. Following the destruction of the Create Evolve mystical sect, the Life Moon Alliance, who had followed Tsinghui and the others from afar, swarmed forward under the leadership of the demons and began to plunder the resources that the Create Evolve mystical sect had occupied. Tsinghui allowed the Create Evolve mystical sect's disciples to leave within 6 hours, but that didn't mean that he would give them 6 hours to pack up their belongings. Instead, it meant that they had to leave the range of the wondrous mountain range within 6 hours. 6 hours was nothing to cultivators like Tsinghui. Even Azure Netherworld stage and Spirit Qi Unite stage experts would have half the time if they had a flying sword. However, for ordinary spirit refining stage, true energy stage, and even awakening stage cultivators, it was a race against time. It should be known that even a grade 4 flying boat could only travel 200 kilometers in an hour. If they dared to delay, they would undoubtedly die. Due to the urgency of time, the Create Evolve mystical sect's disciples naturally didn't have time to pack up and leave. Under such circumstances, the various treasures that they left behind naturally benefited the Life Moon Alliance. Although the prominent divine stage experts of the Jinwu religion, Hunyuan Heavenly Sect, and Green Lotus Sword Sect were green with envy, they ultimately relied on their status and couldn't compete with the ordinary cultivators of the Life Moon Alliance. The Create Evolve mystical sect has been destroyed. Everyone, now is the time for your 3 sects to divide the spoils of war. During this period, if any force dares to occupy the Create Evolve mystical sect's territory, record it down. After the matter of the Create Evolve mystical sect is over, I will personally visit them one by one to demand an explanation. Tsinghui's voice slowly sounded. The higher-ups of the 3 sects, who were originally a little embarrassed to lay their hands on the wealth of the Create Evolve mystical sect, were immediately overjoyed. Many thanks, Grand Elder Tsinghui. We'll have our Green Lotus Sword sect's people advance towards the Create Evolve mystical sect at full speed. Although almost all of the higher-ups of the Create Evolve mystical sect have been wiped out, there are still some Green Netherworld stage and Spirit Qi Unity stage experts who are stubbornly resisting. I hope that Grand Elder Tsinghui will allow us to send some people back to the sect to assist in the battle. Feel free to go. The Create Evolve mystical sect's headquarters has already completely lost the ability to resist. There's no need for you to take any additional action, Tsinghui said. At the same time, his gaze shifted towards the numerous arrays that filled the wonderful mountain range. These arrays are the foundation of a sect's inheritance. If any sect obtains these arrays, they will definitely rise and establish an unshakable position in the Eastern Wilderness. When Ancestor Qi Wu of the Jinwu religion heard Tsinghui's words, he hurriedly said, "In my opinion, why don't Grand Elder Tsinghui move the headquarters of the Life Moon Alliance to the wonderful mountain range? With the help of this mountain range, the Life Moon Alliance will be safe for thousands of years." Although Ancestor Nanshan, Primordial Chaos Sacred Master, and the others were also very envious of the wonderful mountain range, they had to agree. That's right. This place is suitable for the Life Moon Alliance's headquarters in the mainland. There's no need for the Life Moon Alliance's headquarters in the mainland. The Life Moon Alliance's foundation is ultimately overseas. As Tsinghui spoke, his gaze swept towards Primordial Chaos Sacred Master. It's a pity that the peak master of the Hunyuan Heaven sect can't leave the main peak of the Primordial Chaos Peak. Otherwise, I'd really want to move Qinglan Peak to the wonderful mountain range. Primordial Chaos Sacred Master immediately understood what Xinghui meant. Did he want to let Nailan Fei occupy the wonderful mountain range? Nailan Fei was a disciple of the Hunyuan Heaven sect. If she occupied the wonderful mountain range, it was equivalent to handing it over to the Hunyuan Heaven sect. He couldn't help but be overjoyed. Why not? There are always exceptions to everything, and we need to know how to adapt to them. If the great elder of Qing Su wants to move Qinglan Peak to the wondrous mountain range, the entire Hunyuan Heaven sect will definitely support you. That's great. Chapter 440. Create Evolve Mysterious Sect. Qing Su stood in the creation hall that represented the pinnacle of power in the creation mystical sect and slowly looked down. Accompanying him were the Primordial Chaos Holy Master, Ancestor Qi Wu, Ancestor Nanshan, and the other peak existences of the three sections. As for Zhou Kunlun, Wenhui, Zhu Xian, and the other sect masters, they quickly retreated to their respective sects and led the people of their sects to attack the scattered resistance forces of the Create Evolve Mysterious sect as quickly as possible, doing their best to dismember the colossus that was the Create Evolve Mysterious sect. The Create Evolve Mysterious sect occupied close to half of the Eastern Wasteland continent. Most of the natural treasures in the Eastern Wasteland continent were in the hands of the Create Evolve Mysterious sect. Because of this, the Create Evolve Mysterious sect was able to nurture over 100 prominent saint stage experts, which was a few times more than the other saint sects. These natural treasures were of the utmost importance. It was related to whether or not the middle levels of their saint sects would be able to cultivate to the spirit chi as 1, green hell stage and other higher levels. As long as the number of spirit chi as 1 and green hell stage experts increased, how many prominent saint stage supreme elders would there be? Qing Su stood at the position that symbolized the apex of the creation mystical sect for a while as his thoughts fluctuated. 8 years, almost 9 years. He had been in this world for almost 9 years. 9 years. He was getting closer and closer to the promise of 10 years. However, his goal of shattering the void was still far away. Moreover, as his cultivation increased, his horizons broadened. He also understood that the shattering void realm did not mean that he would definitely be able to return home. The key to whether he could return to Earth or not was the ancient god Jun's cave dwelling that he had encountered in eastern Qian. Or rather, the mysterious runes on the Fortune mainland that resembled the ancient teleportation array. From the looks of it, I'll have to make a trip to the Fortune mainland after my cultivation increases. I'll gather all the power of the Fortune mainland and comprehend those mysterious runes as soon as possible. I'll be able to recreate the mysterious transmission array in ancient god Jun's cultivation cave. Only then will I be able to return safely. Xinghui muttered in his heart. Supreme Elder Xinghui, we've found the secret treasury of the Create Evolve Mysterious sect. We're waiting for you to open it personally. At this time, Tang Sun, an elder from the Hunyuan Heavenly sect, suddenly walked in and reported. Good. Xinghui nodded. He had been curious about the treasury of the Create Evolve Mysterious sect for a long time. Hunyuan Saint, Ancestor Qi Wu, Ancestor Nanshan, follow me. Towards the end, Qing Su even said something to the three of them. Calculating the time, Zhu Zhao's disciples' remnant sword, and Nailan Fei would have to rely on the Hunyuan Heavenly sect, the Jin religion and the Green Lotus Sword sect. When the time came they would sect. When that time came, they would have to leave. Sect, and even Nailan Fei would have to rely on the sect. At that time sect. Since Supreme Elder Xinghui has invited us, it would be impolite for us to refuse. Hunyuan Saint and the other two elders looked at each other and smiled in unison. Under Tang Sun's lead, the group of 4 went directly to the deepest part of the Create Evolve Mysterious sect and stopped in a cave. At this time, Yuan Bei and the other true energy boundary experts were guarding the cave. When they saw Xinghui and the others, the 4 true energy boundary experts disregarded their seniority and status and hurriedly stepped forward to greet Xinghui. Supreme Elder Xinghui, you're here. This is the secret treasury of the Create Evolve Mysterious sect. We immediately notified the elders when we found this place, but we haven't entered yet. The Grand Elder explained this to avoid any misunderstandings. After all, the Create Evolve Mysterious sect could be said to have been conquered by Tsinghui alone. The experts of the three great sects could only be regarded as icing on the cake at best. If they rashly opened the secret treasury before Tsinghui would misunderstand that the Hunyuan heavenly sect wanted to occupy the secret treasury first, and cause a series of misunderstandings. That would be terrible. Tsinghui smiled and said to the others, "Thank you for your trouble. Now open the secret treasury." "I'll do it. You guys continue to guard outside and don't let anyone in," Primordial Chaos Holy Master said as he stepped forward and pushed open the 10-meter-tall door that was embedded in the mountain wall. As the door opened, many neatly distributed treasures suddenly appeared in front of him. "Supreme Elder Tsinghui, please." Hunyuan Saint stood at the door and gestured to Tsinghui. "The three of you, please." Tsinghui nodded slightly and stepped into the secret treasury. Hunyuan Saint, Ancestor Qi Wu and Ancestor Nanshan followed closely behind. As the number one sect in the Eastern Wilderness, the Create Evolve Mysterious sect possessed countless treasures, which could be seen from the full treasury in front of them. The entire treasury was divided into various categories, such as ores, spiritual items, herbs, divine weapons, armors, secret manuals, and so on. Furthermore, none of the items were below the 6th grade. Even these 6th grade treasures were considered to be extremely rare items. When Tsinghui scanned these treasures, he naturally chose some valuable ones and put them into his personal storage space. As for the rest, he let Hunyuan Saint, Ancestor Qi Wu and Ancestor Nanshan choose apart. The rest was naturally left for Naylan Fei. Although his personal storage space of the 8th grade could move all these things in one go, he was about to go to the Infinite Wasteland region. The 6th and 7th grade ores, herbs, spirit objects, and weapons were no longer as important to him as before. The Create Evolve Mysterious sect has collected a lot of good things. There are also many 10th grade spirit objects. It has made up for the consumption of the Cast Bean soldiers. Tsinghui put many spirit objects into his personal storage space one by one. He was quite satisfied with the secret treasury of the Create Evolve Mysterious sect. After spending some time in the area of spirit objects, ores and weapons, Hunyuan Saint, Ancestor Qi Wu and Ancestor Nanshan all obtained things that satisfied them. Tsinghui was also in a good mood, because he had replenished a large number of spirit objects. Soon, they came to the area where the Create Evolve Mysterious sect had collected many secret techniques and ancient books. In the history of the Eastern Wasteland world, there were many powerful sections. Some of them also had chaos organizations with powerful figures behind them. Unfortunately, due to various reasons, they declined or were directly destroyed by the Create Evolve Mysterious sect. Just like the 9 great sacred sections. If the Limitless Sword sect did not have the support of Jianing, it would not take long for the Create Evolve Mysterious sect to destroy us one by one. Even though the Limitless Sword sect had Jianing behind them, as long as the Create Evolve Mysterious sect has the array of formations in the wonderful mountain range, they will be invincible. They will eventually be able to exhaust and defeat the 9 great sacred sects one by one. With the accumulation of countless sects destroyed, the Create Evolve Mysterious sect has many ancient books and secret techniques. Hunyuan Saint sighed sincerely as he looked at the well-preserved ancient books piled up on the bookshelves. These ancient books that could be carefully preserved in the Create Evolve Mysterious sect often represented the existence and history of a top sect. Unfortunately, with the demise of these large sects one by one, the only things left behind were these few ancient books. Tsinghui flipped through the many ancient books. Most of these ancient books were about various spiritual beasts and sacred beasts' bloodline cultivation methods. There were very few ancient books that reached the divine scripture level. Even if there were 1 or 2 of them, they were only limited to the immortality realm. They were useful for reference but not practical. However, some of the secret techniques recorded were quite useful. Unfortunately, these secret techniques were focused on the immortality realm. Tsinghui found a secret technique that could be useful for Saint Realm cultivators. It was a Golden Core Realm Cultivators, Golden Core Realm Cultivators, Golden Core Realm Cultivators, Golden Core Realm Cultivator. Compared to Neverending Realm Cultivators, Golden Elixir Realm cultivators had a rather distinct characteristic, and that was that they could use their golden elixir to condense the energy in their bodies into a single point, continuously accumulating energy, and completely exploding this energy when fighting with their enemies. Although the Golden Core realm was one realm higher than the Never-Ending realm, it only increased lifespan. In a life-and-death battle, it was not impossible for 3 Never-Ending realm cultivators to suppress a Golden Core realm cultivator. Relying on this explosive power, a Golden Core realm cultivator could instantly defeat a Never-Ending realm cultivator. In this way, a 3-on-1 would become a 2-on-1, and the Golden Core realm cultivator would be able to gain the upper hand. The secret technique in front of him was to increase the power of the Golden Core realm cultivator's attack. If used properly, it could even kill a Never-Ending realm cultivator. The only drawback was that it would damage the Golden Core. In the future, it would require some effort to recuperate the Golden Core. However, this bit of damage was nothing to Xing Hui, who had the 10th order recovery ability, Heaven and Earth Strike. Xing Hui memorized this secret technique. When he reached the Golden Core realm, it might be of great use. After looking at these ancient books for a while, Xing Hui's attention was quickly attracted by a well-protected ancient book that looked extremely extraordinary. He immediately asked curiously, "What kind of technique is this?" This is a history book written by the Create Evolve Mysterious sect. It is specially used to praise the glorious deeds of the Create Evolve Mysterious sect. Ancestor Nanshan sneered at the side. A boasting book written by the Create Evolve Mysterious sect? The Create Evolve Mysterious sect's territory is vast, and they have almost unified the entire eastern wilderness. Their history is much more magnificent than the history of countless mortal countries. It is reasonable that they have similar ancient books written down. Xing Hui thought to himself. With a trace of curiosity, he came to the book. Creation Record. Looking at this name, Xing Hui flipped open this book that was equivalent to the history of the Create Evolve Mysterious sect. Most of the things recorded in the book were quite true. However, the Create Evolve Mysterious sect naturally bragged about the glorious image of their Create Evolve Mysterious sect as much as possible. Xing Hui flipped through it for a while and soon lost interest. However, soon, a record that seemed to be traced back to the founding of the Create Evolve Mysterious sect attracted Xing Hui's attention. When I expanded to this point, I was intercepted by the Solitary Sword sect. The Solitary Sword sect's name was Hunyuan. The disciples and elders were like the martial artists of the mortal world. They did not cultivate their bloodline, nor did they train their body. They only held a sword and used their spirit to train their sword. They used their will to control the sword. They had unfathomable power. Ordinary elders could not stop them even if they had the power to enter the underworld. Chapter 441. The Transforming Earth Sword Sect? Xing Hui was slightly taken aback. There was actually someone in the sword sect who could contend against a blue netherworld realm expert without cultivating his bloodline or cultivating his body. Could it be? There really was such a cultivator in this world? Xing Hui thought of his torch dragon sword intent that had yet to reach perfection, and immediately began reading. Unfortunately, there were only a few records of the Transformation Sword sect in the history books of the Creation Transformation Mystical sect. It seemed that in their opinion, a sect that could even be annihilated by a prominent divine stage expert wasn't worth writing about. Since he could not find any detailed information about the Transforming Earth Sword sect, he could only turn to Primordial Chaos Saint, Ancestor Qiwu, Ancestor Nanshan, and the others. Have any of you heard of the Transforming Earth Sword sect? Transforming Earth Sword sect? Primordial Chaos Saint, Ancestor Qiwu, and Ancestor Nanshan had obtained benefits from the treasury and naturally wanted to repay Xing Hui. They racked their brains, but they could not recall anything. In the end, Primordial Chaos Saint looked at the Creation Mystical sect's history books that Xing Hui pointed out and said, "This matter happened 9,135 years ago. Our Primordial Chaos Heaven sect also has elders in charge of writing history books. I'll get those elders to investigate in detail, and should be able to find relevant clues." Ancestor Nanshan of the Green Lotus Sword sect nodded repeatedly. Our Green Lotus Sword sect should also have records of something that happened 9,135 years ago. Ancestor Qi Wu, on the other hand, was troubled. The Golden Crow sect had not even been established for 9,000 years. Even if he wanted to lend Qing Su a hand in this matter, he had no idea where to start. Then I'll have to trouble the two of you. My sword intent is currently at a bottleneck, and the Transforming Earth Sword sect may be hiding an opportunity that can help me break through my sword intent bottleneck. Primordial Chaos Saint and Ancestor Nanshan's expressions turned grave. Don't worry, Grand Elder Xinghui. We'll send people to investigate immediately. The Transforming Earth Sword sect, is it? Our Green Lotus Sword sect is also a branch of the Sword sect, so we should have some connections with the Transforming Sword sect. As soon as we find any information about the Transforming Sword sect, we will report it to you immediately. Xinghui nodded. Primordial Chaos Sacred Master and Old Ancestor Nanshan also passed down the order. Even Patriarch Qi Wu became very attentive when he learned that this matter was related to Xinghui's cultivation. Even though the Jinwu religion did not have a history of 9,000 years, it did not mean that the other sects in their territory had a history of less than 9,000 years. If they could obtain detailed information about the Transforming Chen Sword sect from those sects, they would still be able to show their faces in front of Grand Elder Xinghui. After taking a stroll around the Create Evolve Mysterious Sect's secret vault, Xinghui and the others stepped out of the mountain range after recouping the resources they had invested in conquering the Create Evolve Mysterious Sect. After waiting for less than 3 days, the unity of Divine Qi, Green Netherworld Realm Elders, and Hall Masters who were in charge of occupying the territory also rushed to the scene, and successfully met up at the foot of the wonderful mountain range at the Creation Mysterious Sect's headquarters. Evidently, with the assistance of so many prominent divine stage experts, even if there were some stubborn people in the Create Evolve Mysterious Sect, they were unable to form an effective resistance. As a result, they were defeated like a mountain. In 3 days, the Create Evolve Mysterious Sect's mountains and rivers were given to the 3 great sections. Senior Sister Naylin, you're here. Has Primordial Chaos Sacred Master told you about my plans? In the guest hall, Xinghui looked at Naylin Fei, who was leading the Sky Origin Peak Master, and the others into the hall. Naylin Fei was a bold woman in the first place. She was rather straightforward, but she really did feel uneasy before Qingsu right now. Qingsu, why? You're not joking, are you? Do you really intend to give the Create Evolve Mysterious Mountain to Qinglan Peak, and use it as our base outside the sect? Xinghui glanced at Naylin Fei, then at the Sky Origin Peak Master, and the others who had followed Naylin Fei in. The Sky Origin Peak Master and the others immediately took their leave. After they left, Xinghui slowly said, I have to go. Go. Naylin Fei was slightly stunned, then immediately realized what Xinghui meant. She was shocked. You want to leave the Eastern Wilderness? Xinghui nodded. For a moment, Naylin Fei's face was filled with disappointment and some other emotions. You're right. With your strength, you can suppress the entire Create Evolve Mysterious Sect. No one in the Eastern Wilderness is your match. Moreover, your cultivation has reached the transformative state. If you want to go further, especially to form a divine-grade golden core, the resources you need will greatly increase. Only by going to the Infinite Wasteland domain will you be able to meet your needs. Moreover, with your battle strength, as long as you're careful and don't step into the territories of the most powerful masters of the sea, you won't encounter any danger. Indeed, you should leave the Eastern Wilderness and go to the Infinite Wasteland domain, where the stage is even wider. That's not the reason. There's another reason. Xinghui knew that his identity as the disciple of the Reverend Zhu Zhao had been exposed. Previously, the Dark Sky Taoist Master had tried to kill him because of his amazing talent. Now that the news of him destroying the Create Evolve Mysterious Sect had spread, it was hard to guarantee that no one would be afraid of his talent and not send people to find trouble with him. Moreover, Remnant Sword was already on his way to meet him. He had to leave. Therefore, he could only say, this matter can't be changed. When the time comes, the Zhuo family will have to rely on you. If I have the time and opportunity, I will also set up a backup plan, just in case. When Nalan Fei heard Xing Hui's resolute words, she knew that the matter was already settled. Moreover, Xing Hui was going to the infinite wasteland domain for the future. As a family member, she had no reason to stop him. I understand. As long as I, Nalan Fei, am home, I will not let the Zhuo family suffer any grievances. I naturally believe that. Xing Hui nodded heavily. You should talk to your family before you leave. I will go over and explain to them. However, I have not been at home during this period of time. I guess they have adapted to this situation. This time, I just went a little further and a little longer. This is not just a little further. Nalan Fei smiled bitterly. Xing Hui shook his head and did not dwell on this issue. On your way here, have you heard any news from the Qianquan sacred ground, the Limitless Sword sect, the Six Paths of God and Demons, the Shunxiao Sword sect and other sects? Did they invade the territory of the Create Evolve Mysterious sect? Of course. Before the outcome of the battle between you and the Create Evolve Mysterious sect, these sects did not dare to make a move. However, after knowing that the Create Evolve Mysterious sect was destroyed, they occupied more than anyone else. Furthermore, you did not order them to stop what they were doing. These few days, they occupied even more rapidly. Currently, the territory of the Create Evolve Mysterious sect has been divided up. The 3 sects have occupied half, and the other 6 sects have occupied the other half. Stop. Why should I stop them? Xing Hui sneered. Although the Create Evolve Mysterious sect has been destroyed, the true overlord of the Heaven Wasteland domain has been replaced by the Limitless Sword sect. Apart from the Limitless Sword sect, the Qianquan Sacred Ground, the Six Paths of God and Demons, and the Shunxiao Sword sect are not weak. If I do not weaken them before I leave, even if the Hunyuan Heaven sect, the Jinwu religion, and the Green Lotus Sword sect occupy the huge territory of the Create Evolve Mysterious sect, they will not be safe. It will only attract countless people. If the Limitless Sword sect, the Six Paths of God and Demons, the Qianquan Sacred Ground, and the Shunxiao Sword sect interfere in the territory of the Create Evolve Mysterious sect, it is equivalent to provoking me. I naturally have enough reason to retaliate. Nalan Fei nodded. From the standpoint of the first deputy sect master of the Hunyuan Heaven sect and herself, Xing Hui's actions were naturally beneficial. Time is of the essence, and I've rested enough. I might as well make a trip to the Limitless Sword sect today, and take down the force that poses the greatest threat to the Hunyuan Heaven sect. Nalan Fei nodded and said somewhat regretfully, I can't help you at all in a battle of this level, so you can only rely on yourself to be careful. Although the Limitless Sword sect cannot be compared to the Create Evolve Mysterious sect, they are not weak either. In particular, Ancestor Stone Sword and the Lifeless Sword Master are the top experts of the older generation on the Heaven Wasteland domain. Ancestor Stone Sword in particular still occupies the throne of the number 1 person on the Heaven Wasteland domain, and is the only never-ending stage expert on the entire Heaven Wasteland domain. Don't worry, I know what to do. You should make arrangements in the Wondrous Mountain Range. This will be the headquarters of Qinglan Peak, or rather, the entire Zhuo family. Okay. Nalan Fei solemnly agreed. Xing Hui immediately left the meeting hall. Outside the meeting hall, besides the Sky Yuan Peak Master, there was another person waiting quietly. It was Yan Huang, who was only at the Spirit Qi Unity stage. My lord, I already have a few suitable targets for the task you asked me to do. Seeing Xing Hui come out, Yan Huang hurriedly bowed and greeted him in a low voice. Oh, how many? There are 4, between the ages of 10 and 16, and all of them have an extraordinary foundation. Good. Qing Su nodded. I need to pay a visit to the Wuji Sword sect first. Bring the 4 of them to the Profundity Mountains and wait there. I've already come to an agreement with Senior Sister Nalan about the Fortune Peak in the Profundity Mountains. It's specially reserved for my use. Regular people are not to enter. Yes, my lord. Go. As Xing Hui spoke, he leapt up and was about to leave. However, before he could leave, he saw more than a dozen figures flying in his direction from the horizon. The dozen figures were led by 2 people. One of them was the Hunyuan Heaven sect's strongest expert, Saint Sovereign Primordial Chaos, while the other person's aura was even stronger than Saint Sovereign Primordial Chaos. In particular, The chilling and oppressive sword intent from his body allowed Qing Su to vaguely guess his identity. Under Primordial Chaos Saint Sovereign's lead, the group quickly landed in front of Tsing Hui. Upon seeing Tsing Hui, Primordial Chaos Saint Sovereign immediately introduced him. Great Elder Tsing Hui, let me introduce you. This is one of the supreme experts of the Limitless Sword Sect, the previous number 1 on the Heaven Wasteland list, the Lifeless Sword Master. He has come on behalf of the Limitless Sword Sect to congratulate you on conquering the Creation Mysterious Gate and occupying the wondrous mountain range. Greetings to Great Elder Tsing Hui. The Lifeless Sword Master stepped forward and bowed slightly in a manner that was neither servile nor overbearing. A moment later, he waved his hand behind him and released a blue netherworld stage cultivator, who was being escorted. This is the first time we meet. I have specially brought a gift for Great Elder Tsing Hui. This person established a sect called the Heavenly Demon Sect overseas, but he betrayed the alliance halfway after joining the Life Moon Alliance, and tried to join the Limitless Sword Sect. Today, we have brought this traitor of the Life Moon Alliance to be dealt with by Great Elder Tsing Hui. Chapter 442. Heavenly Devil Cult Master? Tsing Hui's gaze landed on the middle-aged man, and his gaze sharpened. The Heavenly Devil Cult Master was indeed one of the forces that had submitted to the Life Moon Alliance. However, he had used a teleportation technique to travel to the Creation continent. Moreover, the Creation Mystical Sect was expanding overseas at the time, and the Life Moon Alliance was being attacked by the Golden Edge Island, which was supported by the Unbounded Sword Sect. As a result, the Heavenly Devil Cult Master's influence plummeted. Under the recruitment of the Golden Edge Island and other forces, many cultivators had abandoned the Life Moon Alliance. Alliance Master, please spare me. Back then, Heavenly Devil Cult Master could be considered an overlord overseas, but at that moment, he was trembling in fear in front of Qing Su, begging endlessly. Tsing Hui naturally wouldn't be nice to someone who betrayed the Life Moon Alliance when it was in trouble. However, the fact that the Lifeless Sword Master had returned a traitor to the Life Moon Alliance to him was interesting. Was the Limitless Sword Sect going to give in? I'll accept your gift. In fact, if you hadn't sent him here, I would have asked the Limitless Sword Sect for him. After all, he's a traitor to the Life Moon Alliance, and it's inappropriate for the Limitless Sword Sect to protect him. As Qing Su said that, he ignored the Lifeless Sword Master's slight change in expression and cut straight to the chase. May I ask why the Lifeless Sword Master has come to visit me? The Lifeless Sword Master saw that Tsing Hui had gone straight to the point, so he didn't want to dwell on such trivial matters. He said, I'm here to represent the Limitless Sword Sect, the Shunxiao Sword Sect, the Six Paths of Gods and Demons, and the Qianquan Sacred Land. On one hand, I'm here to congratulate Grand Elder Tsing Hui. Under your leadership, the Hunyuan Heaven Sect, the Jinwu religion, and the Green Lotus Sword Sect worked together to destroy the biggest tumor in the Eastern Wilderness, the Creation Mysterious Sect. On the other hand, I'm hoping to sign a new alliance agreement with the Hunyuan Heaven Sect, the Jinwu religion, and the Green Lotus Sword Sect so that we can plan out our territories in the Eastern Wilderness to prevent unnecessary misunderstandings. Primordial Chaos Saint glanced at the Lifeless Sword Master before he turned to Tsing Hui and said, Grand Elder Tsing Hui, the Lifeless Sword Master hopes to maintain the territories that the various sects currently occupy. They'll recognize the legitimacy of our occupation of the wondrous mountain range, and our Hunyuan Heaven Sect will have to recognize the borders that they set up. This matter is very important, and I can't make any rash decisions. That's why I brought the Lifeless Sword Master to you. You'll be in charge of this matter. Heh. Tsing Hui sneered when he heard that. Why? Do I need other people's recognition to occupy the wondrous mountain range? Also, what do you mean by maintaining the territories that the various sects currently occupy? Does this include the territory of their original sect? Or does it include the territory of the Creation Mystical Sect that they have occupied? The territories that they're referring to are calculated from the moment the agreement was signed. Is that so? I've already conquered the Create Evolve Mysterious Sect a long time ago. After I conquered the Create Evolve Mysterious Sect, they invaded my territory. I actually had to sign an agreement with them and hand over my territory? Qing Su's words made the lifeless sword master frown. He continued, Great Elder Qing Su, you're mistaken. Although you've kept the enemies on the main battlefield of the Creation Mystical Sect busy, there are plenty of experts stationed in the other bases as well. We've taken over the territory that belongs to the Creation Mystical Sect, so every piece of land has been splattered with the blood of the disciples of the Wuji Sword Sect. How has it become invading your territory, Great Elder Qing Su? That's right. When our Shunshao Sword Sect conquered the Creation Mysterious Sect's Dragon Coil Mountain, we sacrificed hundreds of our disciples. We also fought a bloody battle with the Creation Mysterious Sect's Dragon Coil Mountain for 20 hours. During this time, we didn't even use Supreme Elder Tsing Hui's strength. We've spent so much effort to conquer this territory, but Supreme Elder Tsing Hui said that it's yours. Don't tell me that the hundreds of disciples died for nothing? A true energy realm elder from the Shunshao Sword Sect who came with Primordial Chaos Saint said in a deep voice. You paid such a huge price to conquer the Dragon Coil Mountain. That doesn't even have a prominent saint expert. This only proves that the disciples of the Shunshao Sword Sect are trash. Tsing Hui didn't hold back at all. You. The old man from the Shunshao Sword Sect was about to roar furiously, but Qing Su could not be bothered to waste his breath on them. He directly waved his hand and said, If you want to sign this agreement, sure, but I have a condition. Oh, what condition? Supreme Elder Tsing Hui can state it. As long as it's not too much, our limitless sword sect will definitely agree. The lifeless sword master hurriedly said. We can sign the agreement, but it has to be in a month. In a month? The lifeless sword master didn't understand why Tsing Hui wanted to sign the agreement in a month. However, as long as Tsing Hui was willing to sign the agreement, everything would be fine. I can naturally agree to this condition. Primordial Chaos Saint, friends from the Shunshao Sword Sect, 6 Paths of God and Demons, and Qiankuan's Sacred Ground will bear witness to this. I hope Supreme Elder Tsing Hui can keep his word. Of course. Wait a minute. At this moment, the true energy realm elder from the Qiankuan Sacred Ground suddenly said, Supreme Elder Tsing Hui, you said in a month. Don't tell me the territories will be based on the territories that the sects will occupy a month later? Of course. Since the agreement has been pushed back to a month later, then the territories occupied by the various sects will naturally have to wait until the agreement is signed a month later. The Qiankuan Sacred Ground elder's face froze. The lifeless sword master hurriedly exclaimed, No. Why not? You said it yourself. With Primordial Chaos Saint and the other emissaries as witnesses, you can't go back on your word. Otherwise, you'll be considered a betrayer, and for betrayers. Tsing Hui glanced at the lifeless sword master with murderous intent in his eyes. In the next moment he suddenly attacked. He didn't use his battle form, only his sword will. The flowing fire sword shot out from his body and pierced through the heavenly devil cult master, who was still in a state of panic and didn't know what would happen to him. Under the heavenly devil cult master's horrified and incredulous gaze, Tsing Hui's voice rang out. This is a role model. The lifeless sword master, the Qiankuan Sacred Ground, the 6 Paths of God and Demons, and the true energy realm experts of the Shunshao Sword Sect couldn't help but gasp. Tsing Hui's attitude was very clear. If you force me, I'll force you. They had made this agreement, and the division of sovereignty was based on the territories that they occupied. Although Tsing Hui didn't overturn their agreement, he pushed it back by a month. In this month, all the sects in the eastern wilderness would face Tsing Hui's thunderous attack. They had shot themselves in the foot. I advise you to return to your sects as soon as possible and discuss how to plan your territories. I'll be going to the Wuji Sword Sect to pay a visit, so I won't be staying here. Goodbye. After killing the heavenly devil cult master and intimidating the lifeless sword master and the others, Tsing Hui couldn't be bothered to waste time with them. He leaped up and rushed into the clouds, leaving on his sword. The lifeless sword master's expression changed when he heard Tsing Hui's words. He hurriedly turned to Primordial Chaos Saint. Primordial Chaos Saint. What does Hunyuan Heaven Sect's Grand Elder Tsing Hui mean by this? Is this his attitude alone or the attitude of the entire Hunyuan Heaven Sect? Don't forget that Hunyuan Heaven Sect is a member of the Shadow Sword Sect, just like the Wuji Sword Sect. Behind the Wuji Sword Sect stands the Netherworld Sword Ancestor, a core member of the Shadow Sword Sect. The name Netherworld Sword Ancestor made Primordial Chaos Saint's expression change slightly. However, when he thought of the Almighty behind Xing Hui, his expression immediately returned to normal. Grand Elder Xing Hui only represents himself. Moreover, I don't understand the Lifeless Sword Master's words. What does Grand Elder Xing Hui mean? Isn't he following the agreement that you guys came up with? As for the contents of the agreement, not a single word has been changed. It's just that the time has been pushed back to a month later. For such a large-scale agreement, it's completely reasonable for him to have a good discussion with his subordinates. It's not like he can just pick up a pen and sign it without hesitation when you take out the agreement. The Lifeless Sword Master took a deep breath. He glanced at Primordial Chaos Saint and said coldly, I understand, but our Wuji Sword Sect won't be as relaxed as the Create Evolve Mysterious Sect. Moreover, the Create Evolve Mysterious Sect is fighting alone, but our Wuji Sword Sect has more than one reinforcements. When the time comes, your Hunyuan Heaven Sect will finally have a decent apex expert, but he'll be like a shooting star, appearing for a fleeting moment, and dying in the blink of an eye. Whether Grand Elder Xing Hui will be like a shooting star, I'll have to trouble you, Lifeless Sword Master. Primordial Chaos Saint smiled. Is that so? The Lifeless Sword Master turned to the 3 true energy stage envoys from the Qiankuan Sacred Ground, the 6 Paths of Divinity and Demons, and the Shunshao Sword Sect. Everyone, why don't you come with me to the Wuji Sword Sect? That's right. I'll inform the higher-ups of the sects to send reinforcements. The Create Evolve Mysterious Sect can't advance or retreat under the joint attack of our sections. Xing Hui is just one transcendent stage cultivator. Even if he has a divine-grade battle body, he won't be able to defy the heavens. The true energy stage patriarchs of the 3 sects nodded in agreement. The group of envoys from the Wuji Sword Sect, the 6 Paths of Divinity and Demons, the Qiankuan Sacred Ground, and the Shunshao Sword Sect stopped being courteous with Primordial Chaos Saint and quickly left, disappearing into the horizon in the blink of an eye. After they left, Primordial Chaos Saint summoned Tang Sun without hesitation. Gather the people immediately and continue to expand. We can't attack the Wuji Sword Sect because of Jianing, but the Qiankuan Sacred Ground, the 6 Paths of Divinity and Demons, and especially the Shunshao Sword Sect, are all opportunities for our Hunyuan Heaven Sect to expand. Whether or not our Hunyuan Heaven Sect can become the top sect in the Eastern Wilderness depends on this. Tang Sun also understood the importance of this opportunity to the Hunyuan Heaven Sect, so he immediately replied, Yes, Primordial Chaos Saint. Chapter 443. Limitless Sword Sect. The Lifeless Sword Master's flying sword was slightly inferior to Xing Hui's flowing fire sword, but it was still at the 8th level. Furthermore, he was proficient in the way of the sword, and his speed was even faster than Xing Hui's. As such, he was able to catch up to Xing Hui on the way to the Limitless Sword Sect. Lifeless. The moment the Lifeless Sword Master arrived, many prominent sage stage and true energy boundary experts of the Limitless Sword Sect came forward to welcome him. Lifeless, we have heard the news you sent from the Primal Chaos Divine Palace. Currently, we have mobilized almost all of the prominent sage stage experts in our territory. Other than the 6 who are in extremely important positions and cannot leave, all of the experts of the Limitless Sword Sect are gathered here. That's right. Furthermore, we have also brought out the Sky Extreme Sword, Earth Extreme Sword, Mystic Extreme Sword, and Limitless Sword. As long as you, the Sky Extreme Sword Master, are here, we will be able to form the 4 Elemental Sword Formation. In front of our 4 Elemental Sword Formation, Tian Ding, Jin Chan, and the others of the Creation Mysterious Sect will be beaten to the point that they do not dare to come out. If that Xing Hui is just talking about it, then so be it. However, if he really dares to behave atrociously in our Limitless Sword Sect, we will definitely let him know the price of offending our Limitless Sword Sect. Everyone in the Limitless Sword Sect was filled with fighting spirit. Back then, when the Limitless Sword Sect went up against the Creation Mysterious Sect, It was only because the Creation Mysterious sect relied on the Creation Gates array formation that they were able to encroach on some of the Limitless Sword sect's land. However, the amount of land that the Limitless Sword sect had taken was extremely small. It could even be said that because those places had been destroyed, there was no longer any defensive value. The Limitless Sword sect was not willing to continue investing in those places, so they gave those lands to the Creation Mysterious sect. If they were to fight head-on, the Limitless Sword sect might not be afraid of the Creation Mysterious sect. Hui should be here soon. His flying speed is extremely fast. If not for the fact that I didn't dare to hold back and flew at full speed, and even used medicinal pills to recover my genuine chi, I'm afraid that he would have overtaken me and arrived at our Limitless Sword sect first. His attitude is extremely firm, so unless we are willing to give up all of the Creation Mysterious sect's territory, this battle is unavoidable. The Lifeless Sword Master said with a heavy expression. What are you afraid of? This time, he's alone without the help of the Hunyuan Heavenly sect, the Jinwu religion, and the Green Lotus Sword sect. Our Limitless Sword sect may not lose to him. Ancestor Chiya, who was one of the more irascible members of the Limitless Sword sect, said. The Lifeless Sword Master shook his head. When I went to the Creation Mysterious sect to meet Hui, I had a good chat with the Hunyuan Heavenly Sovereign, and asked him about Hui's true abilities. The Hunyuan Heavenly Sovereign advised us not to make an enemy out of him. In the battle to destroy the Creation Mysterious sect, the Hunyuan Heavenly Sovereign said that even without the help of the three great sects, it would only take a little more time for Hui to completely destroy the Creation Mysterious sect. Although we have no choice but to go against him for the sake of the Limitless Sword sect's interests, we can't be too careful against a terrifying enemy that can destroy the Creation Mysterious sect alone. Hui is the Hunyuan Heavenly sect's Grand Elder. If you ask the Hunyuan Heavenly Sovereign about Hui, the Hunyuan Heavenly Sovereign will naturally exaggerate. Therefore, his words are not trustworthy. I believe in the Hunyuan Heavenly Sovereign's character and the relationship we have cultivated over the years. He will definitely not lie to me about this matter. Enough. At this moment, the most respected person in the Limitless Sword sect, Ancestor Stone Sword, said in a deep voice, whether Hui is strong or not, we will only know after the battle. Since the establishment of our Limitless Sword sect, there has never been a case of us surrendering without a fight. When Hui arrives, I, Chiya, Lei Gu, and Wuxia will set up the 4 elemental sword formation, and invite him into the formation. If he can break our Limitless Sword sect's strongest 4 elemental sword formation, then we won't be able to stop him. If he can't break the 4 elemental sword formation, then we will teach him an unforgettable lesson, so that he won't have the guts to act presumptuously in our Limitless Sword sect in the future. Ancestor is right. How can our Limitless Sword sect surrender without a fight? Hui, if you want our Limitless Sword sect to not interfere with the Creation Mysterious sect's matters, then you have to show us your true strength. Many true energy stage and vision divine stage grand elders in the crowd nodded at the same time. Just the 4 of us? Although the 4 of us can be considered as the strongest in the Limitless Sword sect, there are many experts in our sect. If we all attack together, their battle prowess will be far above the 4 of us. Using just the 4 of us to fight him, isn't it a bit? Lei Gu, who was wielding the Sky Extreme Sword, frowned. This will depend on our judgment. Letting Hui break our 4 elemental sword formation can be said to be a pretense. When we fight with Hui, the others need to carefully analyze Hui's true strength and determine his specific abilities. If he really has the strength to fight against our entire Limitless Sword sect alone, then naturally everything will be over. According to the rules, the strong are respected. If he has the ability to break our 4 elemental sword formation, but it's a bit difficult, then we will seize the opportunity and wait for the crucial moment before everyone attacks together. We will completely leave him here. A bright light flashed in Ancestor Stone Sword's eyes. The current situation in the Eastern Wilderness is different. The Creation Mysterious sect has been destroyed, and our Limitless Sword sect is the strongest force in the Eastern Wilderness. The only force that can be said to be qualified to threaten us is the Hunyuan Heaven sect that has Cho Tsing-hui overseeing it. If we can really destroy it, in time, the sect that will replace the creation mysterious sect above the eastern wilderness will belong to none other than our limitless sword sect. Hearing Ancestor Stone Sword's words, although everyone felt that this method was a little too sinister, when they thought of the benefits that this method could bring to the limitless sword sect, they immediately chose to agree without hesitation. Let's do as Ancestor Stone Sword says. Ancestors, test out Cho Tsing-hui's true strength. If he can't fight against our limitless sword sect, today will be the day of his death. We will wait here and see if he is really as powerful and invincible as the legends say. Everyone nodded in agreement. It's a pity that Cho Tsing-hui is too fast. If we can wait a little longer and let the experts from the Hunyuan sacred land, the 6 paths of gods and demons, and the Shenxiao sword sect arrive, our chances of defeating Cho Tsing-hui will be greatly increased. It's better to rely on ourselves than on others. The people from the Hunyuan sacred land, the 6 paths of gods and demons, and the Shenxiao sword sect might not be reliable. If Tsing-hui really has the strength that makes it difficult for us to fight against him, then it's fine. But if he doesn't, the moment Cho Tsing-hui shows signs of defeat will be the moment they stab us in the back. The others were rendered speechless by this statement. It seems that we can only rely on our own strength to fight against him. Ancestor Stone Sword nodded, and was about to speak again when he seemed to sense something. He suddenly raised his head and looked towards the horizon. He's here. He's finally here. Everyone's expressions were solemn, as if they were facing a great enemy. Swoosh! In the void, Tsing-hui flew on his sword and soon appeared in front of everyone from the limitless sword sect. Looking at the many powerful auras gathered in the square in front of the limitless sword sect, Tsing-hui saved the effort of looking for them. He landed in the middle of the square and fixed his gaze on the lifeless sword master. As expected of an expert from the limitless sword sect. Not only do you have extraordinary attainments in sword techniques, but you also have extraordinary attainments in sword techniques. I set off first, but the lifeless sword master was able to return to the limitless sword sect before me. Grand Elder Tsing-hui must be joking. How can our insignificant plan be compared to Grand Elder Tsing-hui's great mystical ability and great means to destroy the creation mystical sect? The lifeless sword master said. At the same time, he glanced at the many experts from the limitless sword sect behind him, and seemed to finally have the confidence to go against Tsing-hui. Grand Elder Tsing-hui, let me give you another piece of advice. If you are willing to sign that agreement, the limitless sword sect will treat you as the most distinguished guest. However, if you are really coming for the limitless sword sect and have designs on us, then I can only tell you that you are making a huge mistake. The limitless sword sect will never submit to anyone or any force. Even the creation mystical sect, which was so powerful that it could almost take over the entire eastern wilderness, has suffered grievances in front of the limitless sword sect time and time again. Alright, let's not talk about this anymore. We all know that there is no point in talking about this anymore. Tsing-hui waved his hand indifferently. Since you have taken out that agreement, then we will naturally follow it. After 1 month, the territories will belong to whoever can occupy as much as they want. Right now, I have my eyes on the territories of the limitless sword sect, and it is obvious that the limitless sword sect does not intend to hand them over. Then, let me see what capabilities the limitless sword sect, which is ranked below the creation mystical sect, has to dare to choose to go against me after knowing that I have destroyed the creation mystical sect. The lifeless sword sect master, Old Ancestor Stone Sword, Old Ancestor Chiya, Lei Gu, and the others saw that Tsing-hui was resolute and would not be swayed by his words. Since Grand Elder Tsing-hui insists on going against the limitless sword sect, then there is no need for the limitless sword sect to fight back. In order to avoid causing too many casualties, the limitless sword sect will not go all out. However, the entire limitless sword sect is very confident in our 4 elemental sword formation. Today, I will set up the 4 elemental sword formation. If Grand Elder Tsing-hui can break the 4 elemental sword formation, the limitless sword sect will be at your disposal. If Grand Elder Tsing-hui cannot break the 4 elemental sword formation, then the limitless sword sect will accept any punishment. All right. Qingsu agreed calmly, I've long heard that the Wuji sword sect possesses the heaven's extreme sword, the earth's extreme sword, the profound extreme sword, and the Wuji sword. These 4 swords can even be used to create formations that possess great power. With this formation, the creation mystical sect has been repelled time and time again, but they can't do anything to your Wuji sword sect. Today, let me see if this formation really is as vicious as the rumors say. Chapter 444. Excuse me. The Lifeless Sword Master, Ancestor Stone Sword, Ancestor Chia, and Sword Master Lei Gu quickly formed a sword formation. Each of them stood in a position and circulated their genuine qi. Instantly, the celestial limit, earthly limit, Xuanji limit, and Wuji limit resonated with each other and faintly connected their sword wills, causing them to evolve to a higher level of sword aura. Sword aura. The sword aura in this world exerted idealism to the extreme. Simply put, it was mind interference with matter. This kind of interference wasn't as simple as object manipulation or object absorption. It was, when one's will was compatible with one's own. As long as one believed that the peerless godly weapon in one's hand was a real peerless godly sword, then even a wooden sword in one's hand could break gold and stone. The Lifeless Sword Master, Ancestor Stone Sword, Ancestor Chia, and Sword Master Lei Gu used the power of the sword formation to summon the Azure Dragon, White Tiger, Vermilion Bird, and Xuanwu and infuse them into their godly weapons, causing the godly weapons to contain the power of a divine beast. In addition, they had chosen the bloodline of the 4 divine beasts. In the end, only the Lifeless Sword Master had cultivated the 6-winged tiger saintly body, while the others were only spiritual level or pseudo-divine level. However, they were still able to exert the power of the 4 divine sword formation. Mr. Tsinghui, be careful. After the Lifeless Sword Master and the others formed the sword formation, they immediately shouted and attacked in 4 directions. Moreover, none of them had manifested their battle bodies. In other words, they hadn't manifested their battle bodies at all. Instead, they had left a part of their battle bodies to protect themselves, while the rest of their battle bodies were infused into the godly swords in their hands. The godly swords of the 6 divine beasts, Vermilion Bird, Xuanwu, Azure Dragon, and White Tiger, kept flashing and appearing, giving people a deadly pressure. Scorching Sky. Ancestor Chia, who had the worst temper, took advantage of his bird bloodline's battle body to attack Tsinghui first. Then, with a low roar, he quickly slashed his sword light toward Tsinghui. From the beginning to the end, his fighting style was almost exactly the same as the Blue Netherworld realm experts. Tsinghui didn't see him completely relying on his battle body to fight against the enemy. This method of battle made Qing Su's eyes light up slightly. He had only been able to control the power of his body remotely all this time. Exclamation point. With the divine beasts, the Golden Crow divine body, which carried the blazing true fire of the sun, like a dazzling sun, like a dazzling sun, the sun as it, the sun, like a blazing sun, like a dazzling sun, like a dazzling, like a blazing sun claw directly, as sun, S's claw, was like a sun, as. That's the Golden Crow divine body. What a terrifying heat. Even though this gold crow is just manifested, without using any special skills, the heat waves it emits alone are enough to burn a normal cultivator into ashes. If it is moved to the sky of a city and illuminated for 3 days, the entire city will be burnt into a wasteland, and all the living creatures within dozens of square kilometers will be wiped out. If it triggers the power of the Grand Sun True Fire, within 1 month, it will be enough to destroy the ecology of an island hundreds of square kilometers, and turn it into a living hell. The Divine Beast Golden Crow. Everyone, today, let us use the most powerful 4 elemental sword formation of the Wuji sword sect to fight against the Divine Beast Golden Crow divine body that dominated the Eastern Barren territory. The remaining 3 ancestors of the Wuji sword sect shouted at the same time, and quickly rushed toward Tsinghui. At this moment, Tsinghui's attack had already collided with Ancestor Red Fang's attack. Just as Ancestor Red Fang was about to be captured, Ancestor Red Fang let out a long roar, and the divine sword in his hand seemed to burst out with a dazzling sword light. The sword light was blood red, and there seemed to be a vermilion bird flying inside. With the vermilion bird's power opening a path, Ancestor Red Fang actually tore apart the Golden Crow Divine Body's claw and met it head-on, seemingly piercing through the Golden Crow Divine Body and killing Xing Hui's true body. This technique. Xing Hui could clearly feel that the energy contained in Ancestor Red Fang's sword was far from being comparable to his Golden Crow Divine Body. If the energy in Ancestor Crimson Fang's strike was 10, then the energy in the Green Ruin's Golden Crow physique would reach 30 at the very least. However, as 30 of his energy was evenly distributed across the Golden Crow physique, Ancestor Crimson Fang had condensed 10 of his own energy into a single entity, which was why his strike was able to break through the Green Ruin's Golden Crow physique strike. As a result, it did not slow down at all, allowing him to launch a counterattack. However, that was all. Qing Su retreated as soon as he sensed Ancestor Scarlet Fang's weakness. At the same time, he channeled his true qi into the Golden Crow, and all of his true qi surged into the Golden Crow avatar. The Golden Crow avatar that had been ripped apart suddenly pressed down in all directions. The tremendous true qi of the Great Sun constantly ground away at Ancestor Scarlet Fang's streak of light with a destructive force. It only needed a few seconds to completely obliterate the streak of light, which would then incinerate his original body hidden in the streak of light to ashes. Dragon Coiling. Sea Suppressing. Howl Kill. At this moment, the Ancestor Stone Sword Lei Gu and the Lifeless Sword Master arrived right behind him. They charged into Qing Su's Golden Crow avatar again, and tore it to pieces. The power of each of them could not be said to be mighty, but it was extremely condensed. Even though Xing Hui had greatly increased the power of his Golden Crow Divine Body with the true qi, it was still defeated by the 4 experts of the Limitless Sword Sect. For a time, the Golden Crow Divine Body was showing signs of not being able to withstand the attacks of the 4 experts of the Limitless Sword Sect. This kind of attack can indeed allow the weak to defeat the strong. Just like now, the difference between the Golden Crow Divine Body, 1 Saint Body and 3 Pseudo-Saint Bodies has been more than made up for by this method. Right now, it's almost like I'm fighting against 4 experts of the Transcendent Realm alone. If not for my advantage in recovery, and the true qi consumption to increase my attack power, I'm afraid I would be in danger of losing. The Limitless Sword Sect is truly worthy of being a top sect that even the Creation Mystical Sect is helpless against. What a pity. Unfortunately, Xing Hui's methods were not as simple as what he saw in front of him. I thought that this Cho Xing Hui was very powerful, but it turns out that his reputation is undeserved. At this level, the 4 of us are able to fight him to a draw. If we gather all the True Element and Vision Saint stage experts of the sect to attack together, we will absolutely be able to kill him here. Old Ancestor Qi Ye's eyes flashed with excitement as his battle-intent soared. The more he fought, the braver he became. Don't underestimate him. The most terrifying thing about Cho Xing Hui is his primal chaos level. It is said that his primal chaos level is extremely high. Not only did he increase his recovery ability to the 10th level, he even has a 3rd level divine technique. Seeing that he hasn't even used his divine technique yet, we can see that we haven't forced him to use all his cards yet. The Lifeless Sword Master said in a low voice. Divine technique? It's not like we don't have it. Who's afraid of who? He has a 3rd level divine technique, and can maintain it for much longer than us. If we can't defeat him while he is using his divine technique, we will be the ones to be defeated. Moreover, other than his divine technique, I remember that Cho Xing Hui has another method. He can set up a strange domain similar to his divine body. Inside that domain, his divine body's strength will also increase sharply. Hearing the Lifeless Sword Master's words, old Ancestor Qi Ye's excitement subsided a little. However, his battle intent was still high. He still has a trump card. It seems that we are not pressuring him enough. Since that's the case, let's force him to use all his trump cards. Vermilion Bird. Soar. Good, let's go all out and force him to use all his trump cards. Xuanwu World Suppressing. The remaining 3 ancestors of the Limitless Sword Sect also went all out. Under their control, their true qi began to erupt. For a moment, a powerful aura filled the void. 10 suns burning the heavens. Seeing the 4 sword masters of the Limitless Sword sect making their moves, Xinghui no longer held back. Activating the 10 suns burning the heavens immortal technique, 7 blazing suns appeared out of thin air. It was like a dream, but it seemed real. Countless rays of light connected together, forming a domain with a diameter of more than 10,000 meters. With the amplification of this domain, Xinghui's Golden Crow divine body, which was originally at a disadvantage under the attacks of the 4 sword masters, suddenly exploded with a dazzling light. That was not all. Qingsu continued to increase the rate at which true qi was drained away, and the direct result of this was, the Golden Crow divine body's attacks became even fiercer. Rumble. Intense explosions mixed with dazzling light spread out in front of the Limitless Sword sect's entrance. The Limitless Sword sect's members clenched their fists nervously. That pseudo-domain-like technique has been used. Although it can suppress us, it's only slightly better than us. Now only the divine technique is left. If the divine technique is his final trump card, then the Limitless Sword sect definitely has the strength to fight against him. The Lifeless Sword Master, Ancestor Red Fang, Ancestor Stone Sword, Lei Gu, and the others transmitted their voices back and forth. Although we can fight against him with all the power of the Limitless Sword sect, and have a high chance of winning, if we really want to defeat him, we will definitely have to pay a heavy price. What's more terrifying is that the duration of our divine technique is not comparable to the duration of his 3rd stage divine technique. Once he breaks out of the encirclement and escapes, the Limitless Sword sect will not be able to do anything to him. When the cooldown of his divine technique is over 7 days later, the Limitless Sword sect will be annihilated. The Lifeless Sword Master's voice echoed in their ears. This result made Ancestor Stone Sword, Lei Gu, Ancestor Red Fang, and the others fall silent. Damn it! How could such a monster be born in the Heaven Wasteland domain? Do we have a way to ask the Netherworld Sword Ancestor for help? Impossible. This Cho Xinghui is rumored to be the disciple of the #1 figure in the Heaven Territory domain, esteemed Zhu Zhao. Although the Netherworld Sword Ancestor behind us is a core figure in the Sword Shadow sect, compared to esteemed Zhu Zhao, he is much weaker. The Sword Shadow sect would never offend such a terrifying existence for the sake of the Limitless Sword sect. For a moment, the Limitless Sword sect was filled with helplessness. In the past, when they heard that Qingsu had suppressed the Green Lotus Sword sect to the point of suffocation, and forced them to submit to him, the people of the Wuji Sword sect had even viciously mocked the Green Lotus Sword sect. But now, not long after, the same fate had befallen the Limitless Sword sect. For a moment, the Transcendent State ancestors who stood at the peak of the Heaven Wasteland domain were filled with bitterness. Stop! Chapter 445. Stop it! The Lifeless Sword Master and Old Ancestor Stone Sword's voices were filled with helplessness. In fact, when Xinghui destroyed the Create Evolve Mysterious sect, the Lifeless Sword Master and the rest had already expected that if Xinghui really wanted to use the same method to deal with them, they would not be able to do anything. After all, the Create Evolve Mysterious sect, which had lost Huanglong and the rest, was still superior to them in terms of the number of experts and battle power. The reason why the Create Evolve Mysterious sect rarely had the upper hand against the Limitless Sword sect was because the Create Evolve Mysterious sect could not mobilize all their forces to deal with the Limitless Sword sect. If the Create Evolve Mysterious sect really focused on dealing with the Limitless Sword sect, the Limitless Sword sect would not have the qualifications to go against the Create Evolve Mysterious sect, unless the Limitless Sword sect's forces doubled. The reason why they wanted to fight with Xinghui was because of the pride and unwillingness in their hearts. Even though they knew that they would definitely lose, they still wanted to test the true strength of Xinghui, the strongest person in the Eastern Wilderness. The result was they had tested it. If Xinghui really said that he wanted to destroy the Limitless Sword sect, the Limitless Sword sect would definitely not be able to survive. Oh, you're not going to continue fighting? This is just a warm-up. A terrifying force gathered in Xinghui's hand. In fact, it was just as he said. Although the Limitless Sword sect's 4 elemental sword formation was powerful, it was not strong enough to go against him. He just wanted to test the strength of the 4 elemental sword formation. At the same time, he wanted to understand the battle style of the so-called sword cultivators in this world. They had not seen him fight for so long with the limitless sword sect. Not to mention the sword of the glorious sun, he did not even use the resplendent eternity. Supreme Elder Tsing Hui's strength is shocking. With his strength alone, he can suppress the entire eastern wilderness. The limitless sword sect is convinced. I will ask the limitless sword sect to retreat from the Create Evolve Mysterious Sect's territory. Furthermore, as long as Supreme Elder Tsing Hui is alive, the limitless sword sect will never set foot on the Create Evolve Mysterious Sect's territory. The lifeless sword master said bitterly. Oh, was it enough just to withdraw from the Creation Mysterious Sect? I was the one who conquered the Create Evolve Mysterious Sect. The limitless sword sect's invasion of the Create Evolve Mysterious Sect's territory is equivalent to invading Tsing Hui's territory. Now that the limitless sword sect can't do anything to me, you want to settle the matter peacefully? How can there be such a good thing in this world? Cho Tsing Hui, don't go too far. If worse comes to worst, we'll fight to the death. Although our limitless sword sect can't be compared to the creation mystical gate, each and every one of us is filled with blood. If we really want to fight to the death with you, you won't have it easy either. Ancestor Chiya, who had the most impatient temperament, stepped forward and said sternly. A life and death struggle? You want to fight me to the death with just the likes of you? From the looks of it, I didn't use my full strength when we were fighting just now. Did you think that there was still a chance for you to survive? In that case, if you can withstand my sword, I'll turn around and leave. If you can't, then die. After Tsing Hui finished speaking, he didn't care whether Ancestor Chiya agreed or not. The golden crow behind him let out a long cry, and the flames on its body surged. As its sharp claws tore, a dazzling sword formed from blazing flames rapidly condensed, and in less than a breath's time, it had already slashed down from the sky. The sword blade contained a terrifying destructive pressure, as if a scorching sun had fallen from the 9 heavens with the power to destroy the world. Its target was Ancestor Chiya. Old Ancestor Chiya's face changed when he sensed the destructive power contained in the sword light that was not something an ordinary person could withstand. Ancestor Stone Sword, Lifeless Sword Master Lei Gu, and the others at the side all turned pale with fright. Not good. Supreme Elder Tsing Hui, please show mercy. Quickly save him. The 3 of them roared and soared into the sky at the same time. The aura of the divine art surged as they tried to block the sword of the glorious sun that was slashing down from the void. But before the 3 of them could block the sword of the glorious sun, Tsing Hui also operated the divine art. His energy was replenished, and he rushed into the endless realm. The golden crow divine art once again grabbed at the air, and a strong light like a scorching sun erupted from his hand. I've said it before, this sword strike can only be blocked by him. Back off. With a loud shout, this resplendent and eternal power directly exploded among the 3 peak powerhouses of the limitless sword sect who had activated their divine arts. Endless light and heat mixed with a terrifying energy shock wave quickly engulfed the 3 of them. And in the dazzling light, Ancestor Chiya, who had lost the support of the lifeless sword master, Ancestor Stone Sword, and Lei Gu, let out a furious roar. Kill. Ancestor Chiya's pseudo-divine art, which had been focused on defense, suddenly soared into the sky, carrying with it a sense of desperation. It fiercely collided with the sword that seemed to be the ruler of destruction in the void. As the power of the sword of the glorious sun fully erupted, it was as if a scorching sun was burning in the void. The light, the explosion, and the terrifying heat compressed the air within a radius of dozens of kilometers, causing the air within dozens of kilometers to be like water surface that was being squeezed, carrying with it a blazing flame that spread out in all directions. The sky, it was as if it had been completely ignited. Open for me. Rumble. The flames that burned the void burned for an entire breath. After the destructive shock wave gradually weakened for a moment, Ancestor Stone Sword's angry roar came from the void. With the help of the divine technique, he avoided the peak of the eruption of the resplendent eternal power, and then brazenly struck again, completely tearing apart the flame attack formed by the explosion of the resplendent eternal power. Then he rushed towards old Ancestor Chiya at the fastest speed, only to see old ancestor Qi being crushed into powder by the power of the glorious sun sword. No. Ancestor Stone Sword let out a painful roar. He looked at Qing Su, whose presence had already declined earlier, but he had recovered slightly in just a few seconds. He did not seem to know what weakness and exhaustion were. Deep powerlessness surged into his eyes. Ancestor Qia. Senior brother Qia? At this moment, the lifeless sword master, and Lei Gu tore through the flames of the resplendent eternal explosion and broke through the barrier of the resplendent eternal. Unfortunately, they came too late, so they didn't even see the scene of Ancestor Qia being killed by the sword of the glorious sun. For a moment, the two of them, who didn't know what to do, could only turn their gazes to Ancestor Stone Sword. Ancestor, you can leave. Ancestor Stone Sword waved his hand at the two of them, and then his gaze fell on Tsing Hui again. His eyes were filled with deep fatigue. Great Elder Tsing Hui Yuan. It's our fault for invading your territory. Tell me, what compensation do you want? As he spoke, there was a trace of sorrow in his tone. It was exactly because of their hope that the terrifying expert who had destroyed the creation mystical sect had directly slain an ancestor of their Wuji sword sect. Now that the four elemental sword formation was incomplete, it was even less likely to be able to fend off Qing Su. Tsing Hui glanced at Ancestor Stone Sword. He couldn't be bothered to waste his breath on these ancient sect ancestors who wouldn't shed tears until they saw the coffin. 3 conditions. First, the Limitless Sword sect needs to prepare the Dao runes of a 100-year-old Dao item. 100-year-old Dao items Dao runes? How is that possible? Our Limitless Sword sect doesn't have that many Dao items. We can't even gather one with 50 Dao runes. The Lifeless Sword Master exclaimed. Is that so? If you can't gather it, I can go in and find it myself. The Lifeless Sword Master wanted to say something, but Ancestor Stone Sword raised his hand to stop him. Great Elder Tsing Hui, please continue. Second, I need the Limitless Sword sect's sect guarding sword technique, the Killing Sword technique. I can give you the Killing Sword technique. Ancestor Stone Sword agreed to this request rather quickly. What about the third one? The third one is the 3 of your chaos spells. Our chaos spells. Ancestor Stone Sword's face sank. Great Elder of Qing Su, are you not planning on giving our Wuji sword sect any chance of survival? Qing Su looked at Ancestor Stone Sword, but he had no intention of wasting any more time. I've already stated my conditions. Now all you need to do is make a choice. If you agree, I'll turn around and leave. If you don't, then let me see just how resplendent the Wuji sword sect can be in a battle to the death. At this point he paused slightly. He looked past Ancestor Stone Sword and the Lifeless Sword Master to the many higher-ups of the Limitless Sword sect behind them, as well as the mountains and pavilions further away. It's a pity that from today onwards, the Limitless Sword sect, which has been passed down since ancient times, will be erased from the eastern wilderness. The Lifeless Sword Master, Ancestor Stone Sword, Lei Gu, and the others were furious. The prominent sage and true energy realm higher-ups who had gathered further away were even more furious. They wished they could immediately draw their swords and fight Tsing Hui to the death. However, even if the entire Limitless Sword sect swarmed forward and fought with their lives on the line, the final result would be nothing but destruction. After understanding his situation, Ancestor Stone Sword, who was the most respected expert, had a trace of sorrow in his eyes. In the end he lowered his head helplessly. Great Elder Tsing Hui, we agree to your request. However, the item with 100 Taoist rhymes needs time. Please give us a few more days. I'll give you half a month. After half a month, I want to see the item with 100 Taoist rhymes in the Creation Mystical Gate. Otherwise, the next time I come to your Limitless Sword sect, I won't be so nice. Half a month. Ancestor Stone Sword nodded bitterly. We'll send the item with 100 Taoist rhymes to the Creation Mystical Gate in half a month. Alright, I want the Killing Sword manual and your chaos technique now. Ancestor Stone Sword, Lifeless Sword Master, and Lei Gu looked at each other and fell silent. After a while, Ancestor Stone Sword was the first to step forward. He handed a piece of white jade filled with an ancient aura to Tsing Hui. This is the Jade of Inheritance of the Killing Sword Manual. It was passed down during the ancient Divine Wilderness era. I hope this sword manual will be able to flourish in the hands of great elder Tsing Hui. Qing Su accepted the piece of jade from the ancestor of the stone sword sect. He scanned it with his senses, and even with a single glance, he could tell that the way of the sword was extremely extraordinary. Of course, he believed that Ancestor Stone Sword wouldn't dare to take out a fake killing sword manual to trick him at this time. Very good. Tsing Hui put the white jade into his personal space and looked at Ancestor Stone Sword again. Ancestor Stone Sword seemed to have aged dozens of years in an instant. This is my chaos technique. Chapter 446. The Shunqiao Sword Sect. At this moment, the Shunqiao Sword Sect's leader, Li Shunqiao, and the only transcendent ancestor in the sect, Li Hunyuan, and more than a dozen other higher-ups were standing at the spaceport. They smiled as they welcomed the group of people who were walking down from the battleship that was obviously different from the one in the eastern wilderness. When they saw the handsome man at the front, Li Shunqiao and Li Hunyuan smiled humbly. Welcome, young sect leader. The young man who walked down from the battleship was none other than the young sect leader of the Yuanji sect from the faraway Heaven Wasteland domain. He was known as Xia Tian in the Chaos Divine Palace. Xia Tian had been trying to obtain the mysterious statue that Bei Xiao had left behind through Nalan Fei. However, his scheme had been foiled by Tsing Hui the last time, so he had no choice but to take a battleship from Heaven Wasteland domain. After 3 years, he had finally stepped into Heaven Wasteland domain. As he had interacted with the ancestor of the Shunqiao Sword Sect, Li Donglai, who had gone to Heaven Wasteland domain to train, the Shunqiao Sword Sect was the one who had come to Heaven Wasteland domain to find Tsing Hui. Eastern Wilderness, this small place. We've finally arrived. Xia Tian stepped on the land that belonged to Eastern Wilderness. He looked around and saw all the mountains and rivers in front of him. The essence qi in Eastern Wilderness is much weaker than in Heaven Wasteland domain. No wonder it hasn't developed much over the years. Partridge, who did not reveal any aura, said slowly behind Xia Tian. Compared to 3 years ago, the aura on his body had become even more obscure. What was even more shocking was that in addition to the obscurity, the power on his body also seemed to be integrated into a single entity. Obviously, he seemed to have obtained some kind of opportunity during the 3 years of boring sailing. His cultivation level, which was originally at the peak of the never-ending realm, had taken another step forward. He had formed the immortal golden pellet and stepped into the 4th level of the Saint Realm. How's the investigation of the matter that I asked you to investigate? Xia Tian did not pay much attention to the respectful Li Shunqiao and Li Hunyuan, the sect leader of the Shunqiao Sword Sect, as well as the #1 expert of their sect. Although Li Hunyuan was in the transcendent realm, he had condensed a divine-grade battle body and cultivated the divine-grade vital essence. His combat strength was far beyond Li Hunyuan's. Moreover, he had a profound foundation. Although he had only broken through to the true element realm a few years ago, he had still managed to reach the transcendent realm during the 3 years he spent traveling overseas. It was said that the strongest person in the small eastern wilderness was only in the eternal realm. Replying to young sect master. If young sect master and we are talking about the same person, then we don't even need to ask around. His name is like thunder in the ears of everyone in the eastern wilderness. Oh? Xia Tian was slightly taken aback. After a moment, he seemed to have thought of something and said with a hint of disdain, I forgot that cultivators from small places like you have to make a fuss about nothing for a long time to cultivate divine-grade vital essence. Their sects must be holding a big banquet, right? That kid is young, and his cultivation level is not very high. However, he can enter the sky. He is a peerless genius. Moreover, he has the combat strength to kill my incarnation. He should be famous. Li Hunyuan glanced at Xiachen. He really wanted to say that compared to Zhuo Qingxiu, you weren't much stronger. However, he naturally couldn't say those words out loud. Since young sect master knows this kid's strength, we don't need to remind you. Where is he now? I can't wait to avenge the humiliation of that day, Xia Tian said with a cold expression. Tsing Hui suppressed the Limitless Sword Sect 4 days ago, and the Qianquan Holy Land 2 days ago. Logically speaking, his next target should be our Shenshao sword sect. However, for some reason, he suddenly changed his path halfway and returned to the wonderful mountain range of the Creation Mysterious sect. He is currently in the Wonderful Mountain Range. Wonderful Mountain Range? Then what are we waiting for? Let's go to that wonderful mountain range immediately. Xia Tian didn't want to waste time here. He couldn't wait to get his hands on that supreme divine object and use its power to soar into the sky. In the future, he would become a supreme expert and rule over the UNG sect. He would let those old fellows in the UNG sect who dared to not support him see who was the one who could lead the UNG sect to prosperity. Young Sect Master, the Wonderful Mountain Range was originally the territory of the Creation Mysterious sect, and the Creation Mysterious sect was a force supported by the Heavenly Tao. In order to destroy this force, Xing Hui joined forces with the experts of the Hunyuan Heavenly sect, the Jinwu religion, and the Green Lotus Sword sect to destroy the Creation Mysterious sect and occupy the Wonderful Mountain Range. Right now, the experts of the three sects have yet to leave, so the Wonderful Mountain Range can be said to be filled with experts. Do you think we should gather the other experts and wait for the experts of the Qianquan Holy Land and the 6 paths of gods and demons to arrive before heading to the Wonderful Mountain Range together? Oh, the Creation Mysterious sect is actually a force supported by the Heavenly Tao? Xia Tian was surprised. One had to know that the UNG sect and the Heavenly Tao had a very close relationship. However, he had already thrown these distracting thoughts to the back of his mind. Experts? What kind of experts can there be in the small eastern wilderness? No matter how strong they are, can they be stronger than Partridge? As soon as Xia Tian finished speaking, Partridge, who was originally at the Neverending Realm and had now reached the Golden Core Realm, immediately released a trace of his aura. The faint pressure and the aura contained in the pressure made Li Huchuan's eyes widen. Golden Core? Immortal Golden Core Realm? That's right, Xia Tian said indifferently. Do you think that with him by my side in the small eastern wilderness, I still need to be cautious? Li Huchuan hurriedly lowered his head. His face was filled with respect and joy as he said, "Young master, you are right. With this golden elixir realm expert by your side, you can go anywhere in the eastern wilderness. Then what are you waiting for? Lead the way." Yes, let's go now," Li Huchuan said and immediately sent a voice transmission to Li Shenshao. "Immediately tell our Shenshao Sword sect disciples to advance toward the Creation Mysterious sect. Take advantage of this moment to occupy as much territory as possible. Now," Li Shenshao replied with some hesitation. "Isn't it a little too early? Even though this UNG sect master has a Golden Core Realm guard by his side, that Cho Xing Hui is definitely not weak. If we rashly attack the Creation Mysterious sect now, if we're not careful, we'll bring disaster to the entire Shenshao Sword sect." Idiot. No matter how powerful that Cho Xing Hui is, how can he be on par with a Golden Core Realm expert? In particular, Zhuo Qingxi was a Gold Core expert from the UNG sect, a first-rate sect of the Heaven Wasteland domain. If Zhuo Qingxi still had the divine technique, he might still have a glimmer of hope to fight against Partridge. However, he had already used the divine technique in the battle against the Wuji Sword sect 3 days ago, so there was no chance of him escaping this time. If we don't take advantage of this opportunity to occupy as much of the Creation Mysterious sect's territory as possible now, when the other sects realize that Zhuo Qingxiu is really killed by the young sect master's bodyguard, how can we, the Shenshao Sword sect, take the initiative when the other sects react? Go. When the Shenshao Sword sect master heard this, he realized that Xing Hui had already used the divine technique. He immediately nodded and said, "Yes, I'll do it right away." The people of the Shenshao Sword sect brought Xia Tian and aggressively charged toward the Wonderful Mountain Range. At this moment, Xing Hui, who was in the middle of the Wonderful Mountain Range, was welcoming the arrival of a distinguished guest. It was one of the 2 most outstanding disciples of the Master Zhu Zhao, Broken Sword. Yesterday morning, when Qing Su made his way to the Shenshao Sword sect and planned on dealing with them as well, he suddenly received a message from Cruel Jian. He said that he was only a day or 2 away from the eastern wastelands. This result was out of Xing Hui's expectations. One had to know that according to his calculations, no matter how fast Broken Sword was, it would take at least half a month for him to arrive. If there was any delay on the way, it would take at least a month for him to arrive. But now, I still need half a month to sweep through the entire eastern wasteland. During this half a month, I can only ask senior brother Broken Sword to wait a little. Xing Hui muttered to himself. More than a year had passed, so there was no need to be anxious about a mere half a month. After contacting Broken Sword and finding out that he still needed half a day to truly arrive at the wonderful mountain range, Xing Hui also arrived at a hidden mountain peak in the wonderful mountain range. On the mountain peak, Yan Huang was waiting with his men. When he saw Xing Hui arrive, he immediately welcomed him. Sir. Yes. Xing Hui nodded. Stay here and guard. Yes. Blazing Glory respectfully responded. Xing Hui immediately went up the mountain peak and arrived at a courtyard in the mountain peak. There were 3 servants who were only at the awakening level. When they saw Xing Hui, they immediately knelt down and saluted. One of them even pulled over a cowardly man that Yan Huang had specially arranged to stay in the courtyard. This man looked to be around 16 years old, and his face was filled with grievance. He looked at Xing Hui, a stranger, with fear in his eyes. This was an imbecile. In this mountain peak, there were 4 imbeciles that met Xing Hui's requirements. This was only one of them. Xing Hui came before this man and carefully sensed his mental state. However, because he did not use the incarnation technique, this kind of feeling was not real. Xing Hui could only vaguely determine his specific intelligence. Their food is prepared according to my standards, right? Xing Hui said to the leader of the 3 servants. Yes, my lord. Although these people have some problems with their intelligence, thanks to the excellent food that my lord has prepared, each of them has infinite strength. They only need a little bit of training, and they will immediately become mortal grandmasters. If they can awaken, with the accumulation in their bodies, they can quickly enter the true Qi realm. Even now, they rely on their own brute force. Sometimes we, the awakening realm cultivators, can't control them. Very good. Keep it up. Xing Hui nodded in satisfaction. Strictly speaking, these 4 people were all vessels for the incarnation technique he had prepared. However, because he was pressed for time, he did not place an incarnation on these people. Therefore, their minds had not recovered. They only had brute force, but they did not have enough consciousness to convert the energy accumulated in their bodies into cultivation. After checking these chosen ones one by one in the courtyard, Xing Hui let Yan Huang continue to personally guard this mountain peak and left. Calculating the time, Broken Sword's flying instrument should be arriving soon. Xing Hui did not waste any more time, and went straight to the spaceport at the highest peak of Wondrous Mountain Range. After waiting for less than an hour at the spaceport, a huge battleship with a style that was obviously different from the one in Eastern Wilderness shuttled through the sea of clouds. It braved the wind and waves and went straight to the spaceport at Wondrous Mountain Range. Chapter 447. A Battleship? Xing Hui was slightly taken aback when he saw the battleship that clearly belonged to the Heaven Wasteland world riding the wind and waves, and descending toward the spaceport. Shouldn't senior brother Cruel Sword be riding a flying artifact? How did it become a battleship? Although he felt a little strange, Xing Hui still stood on one side of the spaceport and looked at the battleship that was descending. However, before the battleship could dock properly, a voice full of resentment suddenly sounded from the battleship. Cho Xing Hui. In the next moment, a talisman suddenly rose into the air, and in an instant, thousands of streaks of light burst out. These streaks of light burst out, and as if they were solid, they directly enveloped the entire Wondrous Mountain, including the entire spaceport, within a radius of 10,000 meters, making this area look like it was blocked off by a giant cocoon. The sudden change made Xing Hui's expression change. Then several figures appeared from the battleship at the same time. The leader was Summer, who had fought with Xing Hui for the mysterious statue back then. It's you? Seeing Summer, Xing Hui's eyes narrowed slightly. This person was the young master of the Yuan sect. The Yuan sect was a famous first-rate sect in the Heaven Wasteland world. It was said that there were 4 supreme elders in the sect who were at the almighty level. In addition, their sect master was also at the almighty level. A sect with 5 almighties. Such a force could not be said to be weak. Now the young master of the UNG sect had actually chased him all the way from the Heaven Wasteland world to the East Wasteland world. For a moment, Xing Hui's heart was filled with warnings. At the same time, he did not hesitate to use the backtracking technique to mark down his current state. At this moment, he could only pin his hopes on the young master's limited status in the UNG sect, and that he could not mobilize almighties who had cultivated divine powers. Otherwise, with the strength of almighties, even the Golden Core Realm incarnation of the Black Heaven sect master had to stand aside. Fortunately, even though there were a few experts who followed closely behind Xia Chun, the auras of these experts could only be considered ordinary. The strongest of them seemed to be only at the transcendent realm. Something's wrong. After a moment, Xing Hui seemed to have sensed something. His expression suddenly changed as he looked straight at the middle-aged man standing behind Xia Chun. From the middle-aged man, Xing Hui could sense a natural aura. It was as if the man's strength had been completely condensed into a single entity, without the slightest leakage. If not for the fact that he was standing right in front of him, Xing Hui would not have been able to sense his location. This is definitely not as simple as the transcendent state. Xing Hui's heart trembled, and he did not hesitate to use appraisal. Soon enough, the appraisal skill received a response. Attack level, speed level, and defense level are all around 100, but the defense level hasn't broken through 100 yet. An expert who has just stepped into the Golden Core Realm. Chaotic level. Level 13. He has a divine art, but just like how a blue netherworld expert can't manifest a divine art, it's the same for a Golden Core Realm expert. The divine art might allow them to have energy that isn't weaker than a transcendent realm expert, but it won't give them a divine art, so it's not much of a threat. Xing Hui's originally tense heart was quickly put down as he used appraisal to completely see through the man's information. It's fine as long as there's no almighty expert. Golden Core Realm. With his current ability, he might be able to fight against someone who had just broken through to the Golden Core Realm. Young master, this child has already reached the transcendent state. While Xing Hui was sizing up the middle-aged man, Partridge also reported to Xia Chun with a shocked expression. Transcendent state? Xia Chun was slightly startled, then said without hesitation, "That's impossible. This kid just joined Sky Dome 8 years ago. When he joined, he was only in the spirit refining realm. It's only been 8 years. Even if he has heaven-defying talent, cultivating to the prominent divine realm is already the limit. How can he reach the transcendent state? That's impossible." "It's absolutely true, young master. I've cultivated a secret technique called the Spirit Eye. I can even see through some almighty experts who don't deliberately hide their cultivation, let alone a transcendent state cultivator from the eastern wilderness." After Partridge finished speaking, his gaze fell on Li Hechuan, and he said in a sharp tone, "Isn't this Cho Xing Hui only in the blue netherworld realm? How did he become a transcendent expert now?" Li Hechuan felt somewhat wronged. "I thought that the young sect master had already investigated Zhuo Qingshu before coming to deal with him. Zhuo Qingshu is an undeniable monster. It is rumored that he is the personal disciple of an almighty in the Sky Vault continent, and has received the careful guidance of that personal disciple. As early as when he reached the vision domain stage, he was able to safely escape the encirclement of 4 true energy stage and 8 vision domain experts of the Create Evolve Mysterious sect, and even killed the 12 peak experts in one fell swoop. Not long ago, he led the Hunyuan Heaven sect, Golden Crow sect, and Green Lotus Sword sect experts to attack the Create Evolve Mysterious sect, which had several transformative stage experts, dozens of true energy stage experts, and hundreds of vision domain experts. They defeated the Create Evolve Mysterious sect in one fell swoop, and turned the #1 sect in the Eastern Wilderness into history. Several transcendent stage experts, dozens of true element stage experts, and hundreds of prominent divine stage experts. Beside him, Xia Tian was shocked. Although he somewhat looked down on the cultivators of a small place like the Eastern Wilderness, he was confident that he could fight against the Golden Core experts of the Eastern Wilderness with the help of the divine art, but hundreds of prominent divine stage experts, dozens of true element stage experts, and several transcendent stage experts all swarmed forward. Even a golden core expert would have to avoid such a lineup. How could such a powerful force be destroyed by Tsinghui and his people? This Cho Tsinghui has grown to such a level in just a few years? It's absolutely true. Not only does Cho Tsinghui have transcendent stage cultivation, but he also has the Golden Crow and the Torch Dragon divine body. Moreover, his recovery ability has reached the 10th level, and his divine art has reached the 3rd level. His battle prowess is unimaginable. If you hadn't come, I'm afraid that Cho Tsinghui would have been able to unify the eastern wilderness in a month. Li Hunyuan hurriedly reported all the information he knew about Tsinghui. For a moment Xia Tian, who had thought that it would be easy to kill Tsinghui, could not help but gasp. 2 transcendent stage battle bodies, a 10th level recovery ability, and a 3rd level divine art. Damn it! No wonder my incarnation couldn't do anything to you. Xia Tian's eyes were filled with killing intent. However, no matter how talented you are, the transcendent stage is still the transcendent stage. If we let you grow, you might be able to become a great threat to us. Unfortunately, you won't have the chance. Next year, today will be the anniversary of your death. Partridge, let's attack together and cripple him first. At the same time, be careful and don't give him a chance to commit suicide. I still have to ask him what I want. Yes, young master. Partridge responded in a low voice. Then he leaped down from the warship. At the same time, he shook his right hand, and a chain-like sword appeared in his hand. The sword straightened, and a cold light radiated from the blade. 10 suns burning the heavens. The cultivators of Heaven Wasteland were obviously stronger than the cultivators of Eastern Wasteland. Facing a terrifying figure like Partridge, Tsinghui did not dare to relax. He quickly used the 10 suns burning the heavens immortal technique. 7 scorching suns rose into the sky and shone in all directions, emitting a vast and resplendent light. At the same time, the Golden Crow divine body appeared brazenly and let out a loud cry that shook the void. Sword shaking the heavens dragon. Partridge let out a low cry. The sword that was originally slashing down without the slightest presence suddenly turned into a golden dragon. With a roar, it brought with it a vast might that defied common sense and came crashing down. Golden Core Eruption. This was the Golden Core Eruption. Before Partridge's sword slashed down, there was no smoke or fire on the tip of his sword. At best, it was equivalent to a casual strike from a prominent divine stage expert without using his divine body. However, the moment the golden dragon appeared, the aura on his body and the might that erupted from his sword increased by more than 100 times. In Tsinghui's vision, the golden sword light turned into a golden waterfall that could split heaven and earth. It carried with it a suffocating and despairing sword pressure that rolled down. For a moment, Tsinghui felt that his vision was completely filled by the golden sword light. Without any hesitation, Tsinghui's genuine qi was fully activated. The genuine qi in his body was like a torrent that had opened the floodgates. It madly poured down and poured into the sword light that was condensed under the sharp claws of the Golden Crow divine body. Then, it was thrown out and collided head-on with the golden dragon in the void that seemed to be able to split heaven and earth. Sun Glory. Rumble. The Sun Glory sword and Partridge's sword shaking the heavens dragon that erupted with Jindan power collided without any fancy moves. For a moment, a terrifying explosion and dazzling light burst out at the same time. Endless light and flames instantly filled the battlefield that was less than 10,000 meters in diameter. The warship that bore the brunt of the impact was instantly annihilated by the energy shock wave. Even those genuine Qi realm and spirit refining realm cultivators who were responsible for operating the warship had the same fate. They were turned into nothingness on the spot along with the warship. Only a few spirit Qi realm and Qingming realm cultivators who were hiding behind Xia Tian, Li Hunyuan, and a group of genuine element realm cultivators were lucky enough to survive. However, their faces were filled with shock. Break. Amidst the violent explosion, a clear voice rippled out from the flames. The next moment, the Sun Glory sword that had always been successful since Tsinghui had cultivated burst into endless flames in the void. Then, the dazzling flames were torn apart by a dazzling golden light. From behind the sword light, a peerless divine sword carried an unstoppable power, and fiercely slashed the body of the Golden Crow divine body. It was as if it was splitting Mount Hua. The Golden Crow divine body, which was hundreds of meters in diameter, was cut in half by the sword. Ah! The Golden Crow divine body let out a painful cry. Xing Hui's face was pale because of the serious injury to his spirit. A face-to-face confrontation. This was the first time that Xing Hui's Golden Crow divine body was cut down by an enemy in a face-to-face confrontation, since he had cultivated a divine-grade battle body. Even if the other party had unleashed his strongest attack with Jindan power, Qing Su immediately bellowed out when he saw how the Golden Crow physique was about to be slain by Partridge's attack. As he absorbed the Golden Crow physique back into his body, the Seraphic Dragon physique appeared as well. Afterwards, a tremendous power completely enveloped the space within 10,000 meters around him with a wonder that seemed like the collapse of the universe. Light sense deprivation. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.